Hey there, Twisters, and welcome, hockey fans. This could be the biggest game of our lifetime for a lot of us out there, as we have two incredible storylines going into Game 7 here. The Florida Panthers, of course, seeking their franchise's first Stanley Cup and trying to hold off the Oilers after leading the series 3-0. The Oilers look to complete what could go down as the greatest series comeback in the history of the NHL and maybe even in all of North American sports, led by the generational Connor McDavid. It's going to be one hell of a stream here tonight. We're actually live 30, 45 minutes before the actual puck drops, but hopefully we have an amazing game and a great time hanging out with each other. So it's wonderful to have you here. Wasn't planning to do this, but a lot of people were saying, hey, Nick, could you go live? And I said, all right, let's make it happen, Captain. So I'm happy to be here as your sort of play-by-play and commentator guy for tonight. And of course, I am joined by the legend herself, and that is my dog, Cortana. Say hello, Cortana. And she'll be getting goal treats tonight for every goal and for every super chat as well. Do leave a thumbs up if you can here. And if you want more of this content, hang out with us in the offseason. We'll be covering that as well. All right. We got some folks joining us here. We got Gonzalo. We've got Chance, King of the Surf Theo. We got Dan, Chance. Oh, I already said Chance. Double Chance. Derek, Brendan, Mushroom Merchant, 4-3 in overtime. That was the first score prediction I saw here. So Mushroom Merchant, we're gonna throw it over to you here. We're gonna say that if indeed it is a Panthers victory, 4-3 in overtime of any sort, then you will get a Twisted Wrister Hockey t-shirt. So I hope you're right. That'd be fantastic. Guys, we haven't even had an overtime in a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final in several decades, I want to say. Does anybody know? Ullmark likely to the Senators. That could be very important for them as they try to hang with the pack in that division with some of those other teams trying to rise up in the ranks, even though we didn't see that turnover so much this past season. Can the Panthers complete their anime redemption arc? Exactly, right? And we haven't seen a team lose back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals since the 78-79 Bruins against a dynasty in the Canadiens. The narratives on this are incredible. Reverse sweep, baby. All the momentum, of course, being on the Oilers side right now. Jake, Ethan, Mean Metal Mike, how you doing, man? Dennis, 6'5". Whoa. How crazy would that be? Boy, have the Panthers even scored 5 goals total in the last 3 games? I don't even know if they have. I think they've had about that many. Drugs are bad, okay? How you doing there, Humaraj? We got Trevor hanging out with us. If I missed you here, feel free to say hello again. I'll do my best. Tag me or whatever. Dean, what's going on? Happy Game 7. I mean, this, I couldn't ask for anything more, honestly. Really, the storylines and, of course, to prolong the season up until June 24th. Isn't that crazy, guys? It only means better things for me on this channel. Mac, return of the Mac. And actually, speaking of live streams, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know, on Friday, the 28th, we'll be live at 6:30 Eastern for the first round of the NHL draft. And for those of you who know me as a San Jose Sharks fan, I've been looking forward to this day, not just since the draft lottery. I've been looking forward to this day for a long, long time. So we'll be live the entire first round of the draft. The Sharks also having the 14th overall pick. It's going to be an awesome time. Jacob or Jakob, welcome. And Doritos, Cool Ranch, and Buffalo Wings. That sounds like a lethal combo. You got to have, I mean, I would think you'd at least have some ranch dressing as well, because that is just a world of flavor. Detroit Steve Yzerman goal. Well, I'm talking about in the actual Stanley Cup Final itself, right? That one is an absolutely iconic moment in Red Wings lore, though, nonetheless. But they didn't win the Stanley Cup that year. It was the next year. It seems, it's been pure insanity. What a way to end the NHL season. Yeah. A lot better than what we got last year in terms of just, the level of competition, right? But of course, the momentum is all on Edmonton's side. An enticing Game 7. Indeed. Good use of vocabulary there. Waiting your whole life for this 9 days after the Oilers won their last cup. Oh, really? Wow. Incredible, man. The Oilers last winning the Stanley Cup in 1990, and that was under the leadership of Mark Messier. And speaking of Game 7s in the Stanley Cup Final, talk about a meaningful end to the 1993-94 season when we had Mark Messier's Rangers beating the upstart Vancouver Canucks in 7 games. And one of the most heroic performances we've seen on both sides between captains Messier scoring what stood as the winning goal and also Trevor Linden getting both goals for the Canucks that game. It's Jakob. Greetings from Poland. Oh, wonderful. That's cool. I don't think we've had too many Polish viewers. We're happy to have you here. This has been the best finals you've ever seen when it comes to entertainment, drama, and unpredictability. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about game sevens in recent years, we got to throw it back to, of course, 2019 with the Blues beating the Bruins and completing their. It wasn't entirely a Cinderella. Well, you could say so. It was at least an underdog run. I don't know about Cinderella, but considering where they were early in the season, we can say that. Then you also had in 2011, of course, the Boston Bruins breaking, I think, a 39-year Stanley Cup drought and knocking off, I think, what to me at least is one of the best teams in an individual season that didn't win the Cup, and that was the 2010-11 Vancouver Canucks. And not to mention the Bruins avenging being reverse swept the previous season too. I don't think that gets talked about enough. So we've had some fantastic ends to the final in our lifetime. But man, this is almost on a completely different level, just given where both teams are. Underdog stories are the best. Exactly, right? Except if you're a fan of the actual team they're playing against. These playoffs have been fun. Yeah, and I mean, this is what's funny is that, like, really, we haven't had that many game sevens in this postseason. We haven't had that many overtimes, too. We haven't had an overtime in this series. What if, my friends, what if this goes into overtime? How pins and needles would that be? There are people from all over the world. Yeah, exactly, man. We got people hanging out from South America, from places like Chile and Argentina. We've had viewers in Australia. We've had a couple people chiming in from like India and Philippines, Poland, and really representing much of Europe too. A lot of course, Northern Europeans as well. Which next expansion team wins the Stanley Cup? That's a tough one. Who's in the best shape right now? Canucks? Vancouver Canucks, maybe? I mean, they still have a really strong core. And I think Alvin's done a good job of at least managing the salary cap to help them stay competitive. Maybe the Canucks. Might be a top 3 hockey moment of all time. Not just NHL, right? Hockey in general. Game ending with a goalie interference. Oh, no. I hope it doesn't end in controversy. It's probably going to end in controversy to at least a portion of one of the two fan bases. It probably will, right? They'll say, oh, the refs gave Florida the game, or the refs gave Edmonton the game, right? Buffalo wins it. Buffalo's just got to get their butts in the playoffs. Chile, yeah, cool, man. I do want to explore the mountains down there. 3-1 Panthers. Edmonton gets stuck in the penalty box. Well, actually, you know what? That might strategically benefit them, just given how they've only conceded one power play goal, I think, in their last 48, right? 48 penalty kills. Something just absurd like that. Nora and Emma say hello. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Keep being cool to your dad. Enjoyed the Celebrini video today. Thanks, Dean. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it already, I know that obviously all the drama is on what's happening right now in the final, but don't miss our video before the draft on Macklin Celebrini, future San Jose Shark. Your dog is getting surgery. Okay, well, I gotta say, we wish you the best in the procedure and, of course, in the recovery. That's always the really tricky part. And I just hope that that she can get some undisturbed rest, of course. And we do love our critters over here. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to give Cortana a good luck treat for your dog. And we're also going to throw it over to our friends over at Flying Fluffy Sports. They're actually, or Flying Fluffy Hockey. They're live right now. But of course, the mascot, face of the channel, Fluffy, he's an 11-year-old Saint Bernard. And these last few months have been pretty hard on him. So anyway, and you guys know me. I've been rooting for the Panthers for most of this postseason run, and I personally would love to see them win. Just for our friend Jaws over there, his son Kyle, and Matthias too, and of course Fluffy. So our thoughts are with them, of course. But hey, if the Oilers win, I mean, I'll be happy as well. We think of some of those, big personalities and figures that the Oilers fan base has lost in recent years. You see the Colby Cave jersey behind me here. We had, of course, Joey Moss, longtime equipment manager, even during the Gretzky era, passing away, unfortunately. And we had, little Ben Stelter 2 years ago. So it would be wonderful for that community there. Wonderful for Canadian hockey fans in general. And for me, I would potentially get to see the Stanley Cup this summer in Spokane because that's where Derek Ryan is from. We want to talk about great stories. Derek Ryan he was playing professionally in Hungary, and he eventually made it into the NHL at the age of 29. It's incredible. Don't see any finals since the 2022, but you guess this is the perfect occasion to use your last jersey from Edmonton. Yeah, and I mean, to think this is, as somebody pointed out earlier, I think it was not Dennis. I don't know why I'm drawing Derek. That this is the last game with Adidas as the jersey producer in the NHL. Fanatics will be the next one, but we saw a leaked photo today of a jersey for the Washington Capitals for their 50th anniversary. And yeah, the jersey looks pretty much the same, but I'm sure that we'll get more details on that as we get to the NHL draft on Friday. And I'll hopefully see you all here for that. The fatigue factor for the Panthers. Yeah, I mean, they do look like they've run out of gas. They don't have that jump, but you got to put all those excuses aside when it's winner take all. Spokane getting an NHL team. We'd have to build a whole new arena because the arena here holds like 10.5 thousand. I don't know if you can expand to more standing room or something like that. But I mean, people really do love hockey out here for sure. CJ, last game with the good jerseys. Heck yeah, man. Spokane for AHL. I would support that, of course, or even ECHL. That would be terrific. It's a large enough area to really fare well over here. Conn Smythe pick. I mean, I think there are people who are saying McDavid should get the Conn Smythe regardless, even if the Oilers lose. And I'd be cool with that. I think that probably for the Panthers, I think it would go to Barkov, though. I know it's going to be more likely awarded to the captain. And Barkov, I think, among the Panthers has been the most consistent through the course of the postseason. Your heart wants to see Florida win. Your mind is saying Edmonton tonight. If the Oilers win, you'll congratulate them for their efforts. Exactly. I'm going to be pretty much content with whoever lifts the Stanley Cup tonight, no matter what. I think that a lot of us out there will have a lot of appreciation and respect for those players. And by the way, Pro Bowl, thanks again for your video suggestion earlier today. McDavid, Conn Smythe, win or lose. Connor McDavid wins, Conn Smythe winner. Yeah, a couple of you saying that. Sacramento for AHL. I'd support that. That'd be great. Portland deserves a hockey team, either NHL or AHL. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that they have their team playing at where the Blazers play, their WHL team. But yeah, they'd have the population to support that. And I mean, a rivalry with Seattle, right? At least in soccer, those things can get contentious, to say the least. Norfolk was actually, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know too much about Norfolk in that area, but I've recently traveled to Virginia. Cool place. I like Virginia. That's where my grandmother lives. All right. Well, I'm going to crack one open here. A little bit of vocal lubrication for the evening. So cheers, guys. Thanks for being here. And here's to an unforgettable stream and an unforgettable Game 7. Cheers. And I don't know how to say it in Polish for our friend Jakob over there, but I know that Nastravi is Czech for cheers. So it can't be all that different, I wouldn't think. My prediction, honestly, I don't think that Edmonton can be stopped right now. Right? I know Florida's in front of their own fans. So my heart says Panthers, but my head says the Oilers. Salud. There we go. No zdravie. Derek with the 2. Thanks, man. Cheers. All right. Here you go, Cortana. Actually, you know what? First super chat, it was $2. So let's give Cortana 2 goodies for that. We got some organic apple here and some blueberries. We got all sorts of jerky for her as well. She will be well rewarded tonight. Hockey from home, we got Victoria hanging out. Hey, thanks for joining us here. Let us know if you've got a prediction for tonight. Go Oilers. Um, cheering with water. Yes, and I do have my water as well, of course. We've got, of course, an opportunity to plug our wonderful merch store, which if you haven't already, you should definitely check out. And you can see it right freaking here. So I do. Oh, wait, actually, it would probably help if I could show you what our stuff looks like. But we have pint glasses with our logo here, colored for every NHL team. This is actually North Stars colors. So we do have some defunct teams. I'm rocking a Twisted Wrister hockey hat. And those are all available on our merch store, which you can see in the video description down below. There's a link to that. We've got, look at that. We got little infant shirts. We got onesies. We've got phone cases. We've got beanies and shirts and pet t-shirts. Check that out. If you've got a woofer out there or even a little kitty cat who could use some loving in the form of a snug shirt, this would be a great place to be. And as I said earlier, we've got coffee mugs, pint glasses, all that good stuff. Look at that. Like this thing. And each one, what's really cool about this is that each one has, look at it, has all sorts of color options as well, like royal blue. You got this like Whalers themed one right there. So go check it out. Support the channel that way. We'll talk about a couple other ways you can support my work later on tonight. All right. And that's my little PSA. I got to work on these things. I want to have more of the kind of the podcaster sort of cadence, I suppose, right? Stop tempting you. Your dog is named after an NHL player. Oh, really? What's your dog's name? And by the way, I mean, you got the Parappa the Rapper, right? I almost think that you would name him or her after a video game character like I named Cortana. Cheering for the Oilers with spaghetti. All right. I'm not as good with the Polish alphabet. I've never really tried learning specifically that language or alphabet, but it's like, yeah, I don't want to try because I don't want to be butchering your language. Going to get a migraine if Florida wins. Just make sure you're in a nice, quiet, dark room. Breaking news. We have breaking news, apparently. Ullmark is gone to the Senators. Wow. I know we've heard about Ullmark as a possible trade target for a while, though. So it's maybe not the most shocking that he has been dealt. This is the week of the draft, right before free agency as well. So this sort of thing does happen. And let me guys know if you know what the return is for the Boston Bruins. But that's good for the Bruins. I mean, they needed some of that cap space cleared up. They still have to get some extra attackers on that team, some top end talent. So maybe that could help them out. You won't be able to sleep if the Oilers win. Hey, just remember, this is history either way. Want overtime? Yeah. And I was wondering earlier, when was the last time that we got overtime in a Game 7 in the final specifically? Mark Kastelitz, Jonas Korpisalo. Oof, that's kind of a crappy contract. And a first 25th overall in exchange for Ullmark. I can't say that I love it, but I don't hate it. They'll have a little bit of goaltending depth with him behind Swayman. They still have to sign Jeremy Swayman too. 1952 was the last time we had overtime Game 7. Unbelievable. Was that the Red Wings over the, what would that be? The Maple Leafs? Or maybe I'm thinking of something different. Breaking up Ullmark and Swayman feels criminal. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if Swayman comes up with some sort of goalie hug or some sort of celebration with Korpisalo. 4-2. A Trenta? What's a Trenta? Is that like a 30-ounce beverage or something? All right, so there we have it. We have Ullmark being dealt to the Ottawa Senators. Does that make Ottawa a playoff team? Oh, by the way, I forgot that I have an actual poll that you guys can vote in. I don't actually have my stream pulled up in YouTube right now, but I'm curious to see what you guys are predicting. Curious to know who you're predicting. Let me pull that up. So right now we're looking at 65% saying the Oilers. And I know that we ran a poll earlier on our community page, and I think it was like 68-32, something like that, in favor of the Oilers. Sens fleece the Bruins. I mean, for them to deal a late first and a goaltender who was underperforming over there, hey, not bad. The Trenta is the biggest size for Starbucks. There you go. It sounds like 30 in Spanish. Yeah, because I think that's what it is in Italian. Capisco un po' di Italiano. But yeah, the last time we had a game 7 was 5 years ago. And as Windy City Hockey was saying earlier on, yeah, we haven't had an overtime in a game 7 in the final since 1952. Holy God. I think my mom was still in diapers then. No real stake in this as a crackhead, but you think Canada deserves a win. Hey, good luck in the draft, by the way. I'm curious, man. Like, could you guys possibly get Iginla or draft Berkeley Catton, who played in Spokane? That'd be fantastic. 1954, actually. Detroit beating Montreal. I mean, still that's still 70 years ago. A lot of Oilers fans. Whereabouts? The hug is gone. Yeah, the Olmark Swayman love. It will never die, right? But yeah, you guys are making this thing go by blazingly fast. As a Wings fan, best game 7 was the loss against the Penguins. I mean, that was so memorable, right? I mean, that was nearly a game 7, right? Or nearly an overtime game. It was a nail biter, right? And then of course, Marc-Andre Fleury. This is as I'm starting to really get into the NHL, but when he dives across to make that save with under 5 seconds left, that was I could not believe that. One of the greatest saves I've ever seen. Maybe not the most acrobatic or the most spectacular, but just how clutch that was. 4-3 double overtime. Panthers, says Vol Bill. Dude, overtime would be... I would definitely be getting a noise complaint. Regardless of who wins, I'll be getting a noise complaint tonight. Actually, my neighbor on this side isn't home right now, so that's good. Since 87, Canadian teams are 1-3 in game 7s. Who would have won the game 7 then? In the final, right? Did Edmonton play game 7 back then? I think that maybe that's what you're alluding to. No more goalie hugs. I know, isn't that crazy? But the Bruins they did what they had to do. And for that matter, really the Senators needed some goaltending as well, because it just has not been good over the last several years. Conflicted on who you want to win, so Canada can end their streak. But as a Habs fan, you want the Habs to be the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. You know what? I'm sure if the Oilers win, looking back on it, that won't matter as much to you. Not to mention, I think the Canadiens are gonna... I think they might surprise people next year. Max Talbot scored both the Penguins goals. Yeah, that's right. I remember looking at some highlights for that when I was producing my Matt Cook video. We also had the Hurricanes beating the Oilers in 2006. Bruins should have gone for Tkachuk. God, what would be the asking price for Brady Tkachuk? Probably at least 2 first-rounders. There you are, Adam. Happy to have you here, man. You were one of the folks who said, hey, are you going to go live for game 7? And I was like, yeah, why not? Brady Tkachuk to the Devils. Man, the Devils, how many more forwards do they need? They got a plethora. I heard they might even move on from John Marino. My friend was telling me about that today, because they want to go after Brett Pesce in free agency. I mean, I don't really see too big a difference between those two players, at least from the eye test. Michkov thoughts? I mean, I think he's where he wants to be. I just don't... I haven't really watched anything about him, though, so I can't really give you any thoughts on that. McAvoy with Allmark for Tkachuk. Actually, that's not a bad deal. Yeah, they're looking to dump Marino ASAP. Really? That does intrigue me. I've always liked John Marino. I thought that he kind of got the short end of the stick being dealt out of Pittsburgh back in the day. All right. Let me see here. We're at 4:54, so I want to make sure I can get the broadcast first of all. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Hope Toronto trades Marner this summer. I mean, what's the best offer anybody has seen for Mitch Marner? I don't know if there are any legs to that, at least not yet. Favorite game 7 was between the Devils over the Mighty Ducks. 48 hours until you're flying out for the draft. Killer, man. If the Sharks don't trade their 14th overall pick, who do I want to see them get? Now, I saw that not too long ago, the hockey guy put out his mock draft, and I think he had Carter Yakemchuk being drafted 13th by the Wild, and I'm just thinking, just one more spot. I do want to get him in the sense that he is a big defenseman. I think he can hit fairly well. I would like to see the Sharks get a defenseman kind of like that, who prioritizes playing in his own zone, but can break out the puck fine and can, quarterback a power play or a second power play unit. So I'd ideally get somebody like that, honestly. There's also a Norwegian defenseman who is projected to go in the first round, and he sounds like the type of defenseman I'm looking for. Maybe not quite as much offensive upside, but I'd be curious. A few fake news reports on X concerning Marner to Vegas and Utah. Yeah, I'm not gonna speculate any further on those. Then Yzerman is being rumored to drop and go to Philadelphia. What pick does Philly have? I mean, Yzerman. I've seen mock drafts with the Sharks drafting Yzerman at 14th, and he has played with Celebrini before in high school. Oh, really? So the game 7 between the Devils and Mighty Ducks 21 years ago, by the way, was also on a Monday. Devils winning in 03. Boy, oh boy, man. They won 3 Stanley Cups in an 8-year period or 9-season period. Score predictions tonight. Yeah, if you haven't given a score prediction, feel free to chime in below here. I'm going to say I'm going to say 4-1 Oilers, really 3-1 with an empty netter. That's going to be my call. 4-1. I miss Gary Thorne. Oh, hell yeah. What day was the Bruins and Canucks on? I don't know. The Arizona Coyotes are in another location. Yes. So what happened was, I know there are probably multiple people who can explain it better, but the players from the Arizona Coyotes have relocated to Utah. And we don't know what the name of the Utah team is. We'll know about that next season. But there's still an Arizona Coyotes front office, like executive leadership. But basically, the Arizona Coyotes as a franchise are dormant. We don't know if they'll ever come back, honestly. I can't do any Gary Thorne imitations, though. Bob Wischusen should be the number one guy. Oh, I totally agree. He's got the voice. Bob Wischusen is the closest we can get to Gary Thorne, and I'll take it and I like it, But I can't do an imitation like that. If it were Doc Emmerich, I could get a bunch of people to unsubscribe by trying to imitate him, but I do a decent one. So sad to see the Yotes go. They had the coolest jerseys, all of them. I feel bad for the fans, of course, because like my favorite basketball team, the Sonics, ended up relocating, and that just killed my interest in basketball. The land auction was canceled too in Arizona. Yeah. Herbert from Family Guy. Have you heard me do that one before? Because I don't know. I can get some people to laugh over that one. But then I sometimes sound like, not Herbert. Well, I mean, there's Herbert and then there's Bruce. I can do the Bruce, right? It's Connor for Conn Smythe, regardless of game result. Yeah, we did mention that a little bit earlier. And I think that there's a high likelihood, unless if Barkov puts out 2 goals and saves a goal or something crazy like that, then sure, he can win it. The best player to never win the Stanley Cup. A lot of people say Marcel Dion, and I mean, I didn't grow up watching him, of course. So outside of Marcel Dion, if I'm looking for maybe somebody in my lifetime, I mean, of course, the fanboy in me, the San Jose Sharks fan, is going to say Joe Thornton has to be in that conversation. Just thinking of maybe some Buffalo Sabres or something like that. On the spot, I'd have to really go back to my video I made earlier, before around the start of the playoffs. But in my lifetime, I mean, Jumbo Joe would be one of the ones who jumps out at me. KD, what's going on? A promotion and relegation system. So would you do that for the AHL, like the Coachella Valley Firebirds or the Hershey Bears would play up in the NHL? Do it, Mr. Garrison. Oh yeah. I mean, I have a few beers in me, and then maybe I just will bust out. Henrik and Daniel Sedin. I mean, shoot, the Canucks are going to have tons of players, right? Luongo, Bure, Trevor Linden, even though he's not a Hall of Famer, like he had a hell of a career himself. Lundqvist, Carey Price would be up there as well. Current generation best player to not win. Pavelski, he's got the body of work, right? I mean, I throw it over to all of you to chime in. So Dominic Hasek actually won. I think he won 2 Stanley Cups as a member of the Detroit Red Wings. I can't remember if he played in either Stanley Cup final, but Hasek does have at least 1 Stanley Cup. He just never won one with Buffalo, of course. All right. Nick, what's going on, man? Excited for Game 7. You're full-blooded Canadian tonight. Yeah, I mean, I know that that's going to be something that a lot of that's going to get a lot of people interested in the Stanley Cup Final in the first place and cheering for the Canadian team, even if they're not Canadian themselves. So that's completely fair in my book. All right, so what are we looking at here? Claude Giroux, Eric Lindros. Yeah, I mean, with Lindros, of course, his legend would be even more legendary had he, had the body of work in his career, a longer career. But of course, he's a Hall of Famer nonetheless. And sure, in terms of pure talent, out of somebody who didn't win the Stanley Cup, he's going to always be discussed as well. The best modern player would be Giroux. Yeah, some people might forget that like Giroux was at one point a Hart Trophy finalist. All right, so we're getting to it's past 5 now. By the way, I am streaming this, like streaming the actual game. So I might be on a slight delay. So I will request humbly that if there's a goal or anything big, if you can hold off from saying something in the chat, or what I might do is I might just look at the chat less frequently. Senators retain 25% of Corpusalo. Okay, that seems a little bit more fair because it seemed somewhat lopsided in favor of the Senators. Yeah, Hasek has that cup from O2. Convince your Floridian cousin that the Oilers are going to win the cup. I mean, the Oilers have all the momentum. I know that the Panthers are at home, but that didn't help them in Game 5. So I'm leaning toward the Oilers winning this. The Stanley Cup last year, 2022. Well, don't forget the Avalanche won in 2022, and then the previous 2 years, right? 21 and 20. That was when the Lightning won. Will be. Yeah, I know, right? Oh yeah, that's right. Urinating Tree is doing this, and so's 5 Points. Shout out to 5 Points. He actually follows me on X and on Instagram. Not to mention him and Utree and Dangle as well. Big reasons why I actually made a channel. That's cool. I mean, you want those personalities to be doing this because, right? It helps grow the game. Yes. No spoilers. If you could be so kind. If there is a spoiler out there, like I'm not going to get angry. I'll just humbly request. All right. Let's see here. But please, please, no spoilers. I'll put that in my little banner on the, it's scrolling horizontally here. Some people just can't hold back, though. And that's understandable to a certain degree. Your fellow Giants sufferer. Yes, New York Giants. San Francisco Giants, they're not making things any more enjoyable for their fans these days either. Rest in peace, of course, to the legend, Willie Mays. Avalanche. Yep. think Peter Laviolette looks like Alfred Molina. He kind of does. I might have that might have just like subconsciously crossed my mind at one point, but I kind of agree with you. All right, Stanley Cup winning head coach Peter Laviolette with the Hurricanes back in '06. Holy crikey! This is actually going down, guys. Game 7 in the final. So much on the line, obviously. If Edmonton scores first, then the Florida fans will be driven nuts. I mean, when was the last time that Florida scored first? Not to mention, what if it's a shorthanded goal again? The first goal has won the last 8 game 7s. And I would think that game 7s, just generally speaking, are low scoring, lower scoring. Final between Canadian teams. I know, right? We have to see that at some point. When was the last time that we had a final between Canadian teams? I think that was 1989 between the Flames and the Canadiens. Indeed. Indeed, Mr. Dan. I'll cheers to that. The guy who played what's his name? Jin Yang in Silicon Valley was in a Popeyes chicken commercial. How about that? All right. Funny show. And as somebody who used to live in Silicon Valley, it's so true. Think it's going to be David says 3-1 in favor of which team? I'm going to say it's going to be the Oilers winning 4-1, but one of those goals will be an empty netter. Yeah, that's right. The last time we had two Canadian teams in the Stanley Cup Final was 1989. Lanny McDonald riding off into the sunset as a Stanley Cup champion. So I imagine we'll get to it's 5:07 right now where I am. So we'll get to the anthem in just a few minutes, and then the puck will drop. The question is, could this potentially go to overtime? I hope it's not a blowout. Either way, I am just hoping we don't have a blowout. Edmonton, okay. Oilers Leafs would be a great final. Yeah, talk about a couple of teams that just haven't been able to get over the hump. West Coast, Best Coast. You know what I mean. Cortana, who she got tonight. I would ask her, but the thing with her is that if I hold out my hands with a couple of treats, she always picks my right hand. Here, let's ask her anyway, huh? All right. So give her a couple of apple slices here. All right, Cortana, who do you got for tonight? Okay. The Edmonton Oilers or the Florida Panthers? Okay. Who's your choice? Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, see, she chose the one in my right hand. So she said Florida. Don't want to go to overtime? I know, because like then it would end at like midnight for people. It's supposed to be Alanis Morissette, really? I think last year's Cup final should have been Bruins and Golden Knights. The Bruce Cassidy Cup. Yeah, but the Panthers, man, from the grave, crawling back to win that series. Nice, Jake. Hope it comes down to the wire. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm hoping so. I hope that both teams just go to a gear that we've never seen them at. That'd be fantastic. Or at least, I hope that Florida can play at the intensity that the Oilers have done over the last couple of games. That went into overtime was not. It's interesting. I'm getting different sources of information here saying when the last overtime was in a game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final. Somebody said it was 1954. I think Dan did. But anyway, it was in the 50s. What time is it in the USA? Here in Chile, it's 8 p.m. Yeah, so The game will start in just a few minutes, but I'm in the Pacific time zone, so I'm 3 hours behind you. Game ends around 5 a.m. in Poland. Holy moly. I hope you don't have to wake up too early for work. Reincarnate the 76 Flyers. They lost the cup that year. Emotional roller coaster ride for Florida. I mean, the whole season for the Oilers has been a roller coaster. Think about how things started for them, right? And then they had a 16 game winning streak. Win or lose, hat goes off to the Panthers. Look at where this team was 5 years ago. They were on life support, and look at them now. I mean, what's interesting with them is that they largely pieced together their roster with trades and like claiming players off waivers. That's been their strategy, and it's worked off swimmingly for them. So it wasn't like they were just waiting for their core to be drafted and developed, to go alongside Barkov. Meanwhile, with the Oilers, this is a team that in the 2010s had three consecutive number one draft picks, and then also had McDavid. All right, Prescott, what's going on, man? Go Oilers. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting seeing what team Vegas fans are polling for because I see it either way. Win or lose, hats off to both teams. Much respect, indeed, man. Think about this: the season started, around October 10th, and here we are. What is that? 8 months later, more than 8 months later, 8.5 months later, really. Literally on vacation right now. No way. Yeah, I know. Like some people probably plan their vacations. I know Jesse from Bar Down. He's in Sweden right now, or at least during part of the final. He was like, I didn't think that the final would end this late. Taking your dog to the beach when you get off work. Good. That's a good owner right there. Good pet parent. I'll do my best to keep you posted on what's going on. Still a fan of the Flyers, but just for tonight, let's go Oilers. Yeah, Flyers. That's another team that has a long, long Stanley Cup drought. You have to go all the way back to 1975. Oh, you're in Aruba. Oh, wonderful. I hope that you packed some sunscreen. At least I would need some. When I went to Indonesia, like I pretty much had a hole burn through my skin. That's how intense it was over there. Big Cheese, what's going on? Thanks for jumping in. Want the Panthers to win, but you have lightened up on the Oilers a bit because this is historic if they pull off the reverse sweep. Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I'm going for the Cats here, but I got nothing but respect for how the Oilers have turned things around, and of course, just how incredibly special this would be to, oh man, just millions of people, especially in Canada, right? The last time we were in a game, the last time the Oilers were in a game seven, they went up against the Hurricanes, and that was a team that had like no business going anywhere near the final. Although they did get Chris Pronger in a trade, which was very valuable for them. But they were they were the eighth seed in the conference, and they had to go through the gauntlet to get to the final. And had Dwayne Rollison been healthy for the whole Stanley Cup final, then maybe they would have won it. There's a very good chance they would have, I thought. Sunscreen, if I take a step outside, you'll turn into a baked potato in 10 minutes. Yeah, join the club. Crazy to think the Wild and Oilers were on the same path when the season began, both replacing their coaches. Edmonton is one win from the Cup, and the Wild has John Hines. Yeah, they have one more year of the Parisi and Suter buyout. Not to rub salt in the wound too much, but Minnesota sports, right? I know. As a Vikings fan, I know. Your electronics teacher showed you a Twitter account which counts all the days since the Flyers last won the Stanley Cup. And he's a Penguins fan, right? There's actually a Maple Leafs account on X just like that. I look like Jordan Stahl. Well, thank you for saying it in a good way. So anytime people say you look like this player or whatever, the first one is either James Reimer or Jordan Stahl. But I'm like, dude, I'm a brunette. So when they say that, it's I'm always wearing my hat. That's funny. I never thought I looked that much like Stahl. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I'll say that's complimentary enough. I can kind of see a little bit of the Reimer resemblance. Maybe not a brother of his, but maybe like a cousin. Same beard with a light mustache. Ah, got it. Yeah, yeah. My lip hair only grows blonde, which is really weird. I was born blonde though, so there you go. Okposo is a Panther you would like to see win it all. He did his time with mediocre teams. Yeah, Islanders and Sabres. Absolutely, that's a great point. 45 minutes before mentioning the stars of being a Vikings fan. A new record. Oh boy, says the long tortured Lions fan with a glimmer of optimism for a change. You look like William Carlson with your hair. Oh man, then you're a beauty as far as I'm concerned. Uh, yeah, the off season. I am looking forward to the NFL season starting up, but fortunately, we only have to wait a few more months with hockey, right? We only have to wait not even 4 months for the next season to start. The state of New York is. Oh, whoops. Just want to see if there was anything else I missed question wise. I think we pretty much got this. Wow, the Oilers are your second favorite team. I think you've said that before. I couldn't remember that though, Prescott. You know what I thought about recently? I'm like, if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, it takes me a day to get there, but I could drive to Edmonton to go to the parade. I could. It's like a 10-hour drive, maybe a little bit less. If you really can get through the border instantly, then yeah, that'd be like a 9-hour drive. You have a friend that looks like a young Patrick Kane. Does he have the little mullet, right? That'd be funny. I went to the grocery store today and I saw somebody with a very 90s kind of like curly little mullet. I was like, "Oh my gosh, business in front, party in the back." Hoping the game doesn't get interrupted. Oh geez, a tornado warning? Well, fingers crossed, man. 10-hour drive is nothing for people from the western United States, to be honest. Exactly, exactly. Very true. The closest like major city to me is 5 hours away in Seattle. Farthest you've driven is Minneapolis to Chicago. Yeah, I've done that drive myself, actually. Joel Quenville looks like Sam Elliott. Kind of does. Kind of does. Aaron, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping in here, and hope we get a nail biter of a game seven. Either way, I'll be happy for whomever lifts this Stanley Cup. And now 60, yeah, we still have 65% of you predicting the Oilers will win this game. Pretty consistent with our poll on our community tab a couple days ago. Pretty consistent. Earliest Stanley Cup memory. Honestly, the earliest I remember was I think I was actually vacationing where I live right now with my family, and the Devils were in the Stanley Cup final against the Red Wings. I think that's what was happening because that was 95. And I was just like, Devils. I'm like, that's cool. I hope they win. And also you know what, from what, 95 through 98, all those four Stanley Cups were sweeps, right? Yeah, and national anthem is about to start, so we're getting really, really close to puck drop, everybody. All right, just got back from vacation in North Carolina, 14-hour drive. Whoa, did you do that all in one day? The longest road trip your family has taken was 12 years ago to Seattle. Yeah, so that's a trek. That's got to be about what, 15 hours more or less from North Dakota. Yeah, Alanis Morissette is singing the Canadian anthem. And yeah, they had another World War II veteran. That's incredible, man. Like Like the youngest that they could be is like what 98 or something like that. Big shout out to the World War II vets. My late grandfather fought in the Pacific Theater. Your hometown's a 14-hour drive from Seattle. It's brutal. Longest road trip was Winnipeg to Seattle. Wow, Karma Frost. That's very, very far. Yeah, the furthest I've driven is from California to Chicago, but I did that with my family in like 4 days. And then when I was scoping out this place, if I wanted to move here, when I came back to California, I drove well, and I'm 2 hours south of the Canadian border, so I drove from where I am now to like around San Jose in like 15 and a half hours or something. I did that like nonstop. And that, like, I was almost like trembling from like caffeine and just sitting still like that for so long. Thumbs up for Cortana. Yes, yes, do smash that like for Cortana. Here, Cortana, you ready for a great game? Let's give you a couple blueberries. Good to have you here, Patrick. Whoop. There you go. How much does it cost a jersey with a little error in the sleeve? Oh, good question. Um, that all depends on the seller. But if somebody had a new jersey for sale, and let's say it was 180 US dollars, if there's a flaw, then it should automatically be discounted by about $40. So it should be about $140, maybe a little bit less. If anybody else has a an answer to that, please tag Gonzalo here. Toronto Sports Insider. Wow. 10,000 viewers already. Yeah. I mean, that's concurrent, huh? That's crazy. New Jersey, Chicago. Yeah, 12 hours. That sounds about right. Because they're Canadian, but as someone who has family from Alberta and they're all Flames fans, you can't do it, Panthers. That's funny. You have a friend from Edmonton. Yeah. Yeah, I got my Cats shirt on for tonight. It's also a very comfortable shirt, so I'm not gonna not wear it. I mean, it's always clothing optional here on Twister Brister Hockey. Boston fans, so you're glad that the Celtics won the championship? Yeah, I know, right? Boston, the lengthy, like what 5-year championship drought? It's been forever, long awaited and deserved. But as long as you have more championships than the Lakers, I will be happy. All right, that's a visual, mean girl. All right, who's ready for this to get underway? Again, please, no spoilers if you would be so kind, but you will not be crucified if you do. All right, so here we go, baby. Here we go. I cannot believe this. Boston deserved that win. They were by far the better team. I mean, yeah, Dallas was no match. Captain K-Man, hey, what's up? Thanks for jumping in. Of course, top-notch Ailstorm profile pick. And Roberto Luongo is pounding the drum right now. And, dude, he is amped up. Holy God, he might even, like, bash a hole into that drum. Wow. Anybody else see that? All right. Here we go, everybody. Skinner rocking a 238 save percentage, a 909, or excuse me, that'd be horrible. A 909 save percentage, a 2.38 goals against average. That save percentage has gone up, though, fairly significantly since the start of this final. Bobrovsky now down to an 889. Here he was. I thought he was going to win the Conn Smythe. Not looking like it so much, but tonight he's going to play like his whole career hinges on this game. And here we go, everybody. All right, controlled here by the Oilers, and it will trickle all the way back for Bouchard. I haven't done some play-by-play in a couple of weeks, so don't mind me. Connor Brown, who has, a goal or two in this series. He'll cycle this around the net, and this goes around the net again for Ekman Larson. Losterinen trying to get the clear. A shot from the point, blocked immediately. And now Tarasenko trying to chip it out. And the Panthers will skate it out of the zone. Here comes Anton Lindell. And the third line feeding it. Oh, and a backhand turned aside by the paddle of Skinner. Regrouping is Mikkola, a Stanley Cup winner with the Blues in 2019 in their 7-game series. And now Hyman will chip it, and the puck trickles all the way behind Bobrovsky. Hey, Walking Corpse, welcome back. All right, this gets dumped down behind Skinner. We'll touch it over to Broberg, who takes a big hit. And now as the Panthers get a change, a D-to-D pass behind the goal line for the Oilers. And now moved ahead for Nurse into the zone. He chips it down and chases. Ekblad, one of those first overall picks in this final. Reinhart takes some contact there from Ceci, and Foegele, who's also, man, the depth of the Oilers has been fantastic in this series, especially as it's gone along. You know, Foegele, of course, Henrique, Perry, Connor Brown, they've been heroes at times in this series. And now we have a contested puck in the neutral zone. And glove down here by Ekman Larson. You're ahead of me on TV. Yeah, so I'm watching this through Cortana. Honey, we played 3 times today. All right, Panthers cycling this behind the net. I'm streaming this through ESPN Plus, so I will be a little bit behind. Hence the no spoilers request. Ekblad is one of the OG Panthers. Yeah, him and Barkov, really. Being drafted in 2013 and 14, the two of them. A chance in front, and Bobrovsky able to cover up this loose puck as Warren Foegele was breathing down his neck. But we're actually going to get ourselves a penalty. And what's going on here? They're going to say it's a cross check or a high sticking, as Foegele is going to the box for the Oilers. Yes, a high stick. But, you know, the Panthers' power play hasn't exactly shown up in these playoffs, or, well, in this Stanley Cup final, I should say. They were okay through the first 3 rounds. But if the Panthers can find a way to get a power play goal, this would just be monumental for them, just based on what has transpired so far through these first 6 games. The Panthers with just 1 goal on the man advantage, and the Oilers have killed off like 48 of the last 49 or something just absurd like that. So if you're an Oilers fan, I wouldn't be all that concerned right now. Now, Spokane native Derek Ryan in the faceoff circle against Barkov, and they're going to have to do a redraw here. Barkov and Tkachuk able to control it, but 2 bodies converging along the boards there. Kept in at the point by Ekman Larson. Here's Reinhart, a shot and a save by Skinner. He'll secure that in his glove with the first 12 seconds gone by in this power play. I'm actually ahead of you, Aaron. All right, somebody actually has to rewind. Not a problem, my man. All right. So we'll get another faceoff here in the Oilers zone. Henrique able to control an Ekholm. Trying to slap that out. It comes out to center ice. And jumping on it is Nugent Hopkins. And he gets knocked off the puck. Gaining the zone now is Sam Reinhart. Onto the wing. Not a good pass. Corralled by Ekholm, and now Ceci moving it ahead as Nugent Hopkins will chip this out of the zone. And the first 35 seconds gone by in the power play. Time for a shorthanded goal. I know, right? It's almost like you expect it at this point. I heard that Verhaeghe was taken off the first power play. That really does send a message. We know how clutch he can be. Barkov trying to center this, and a nice stick there by Janmark. Tarasenko, and now at the point, playing catch, Barkov and Ekman Larson. Oh, looking down low. Tarasenko was wide open, but Barkov couldn't quite connect. We're down to 55 on the penalty to Warren Foegele. Janmark, as his helmet will fly off after that hit from the Panthers captain. Now Rodriguez, nice poke check in the neutral zone by Connor Brown, the short-handed merchant. And Ryan, his shot gets blocked by Montour, the free agent to be. Charging ahead is Sam Bennett. Down to 25 on this power play. Here's Lundell chipping it behind the net. And now slapped out of the zone. As once again, the Panthers' power play hasn't been able to generate much in the way of quality chances. And now Verhaeghe circling around the net, looking for somebody in front, but read like a book by Bouchard. Kept in, though. Here's Verhaeghe. In the corner. We're back to full strength now. Verhaeghe. Rodriguez, a shot in the template. Score! Looks like it's Carter Verhaeghe's goal. And a power play influence goal for the Panthers. And Florida actually has a lead for the first time in a long time. I don't know if anybody heard my microphone break up. That can happen when there's a goal. I was just stunned by that. And Carter Verhaeghe already showing up in a Game 7. He's known exactly for that. Woo! It was a pretty bad power play, but yeah, Verhaeghe was in alone against Skinner, and that shot was going well wide. And he was able to knock that down, and man, that is absolutely huge for Florida. 4 seconds ahead. No spoilers. All right. Awesome. Danelle, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping in here. And here's to a fantastic Game 7. The Panthers strike first on a goal from the ever-so-clutch Carter Verhaeghe. He scored the series-winning goal against the Boston Bruins in Game 7 last year in that first round against the record-setting Bruins club. And now Forsling, he's going to have to take this from behind his net. Ekblad. A stretch pass ahead as Barkov chips this in. Yeah, who else, right? Here comes Connor McDavid. A shot and blocked by Montour. Barkov trying to pry this from Draisaitl. Cleared down. Cats get a change. What a deflection indeed, right? Oilers are going to answer back. That's all they've done. Anytime they show a crack in their armor the last couple of games, and that's been few and far between, but they've shown that they really do have the momentum going into this game. Off a turnover, though, here's Montour. And now Perry turns this over to Okposo behind the net. Stenlund. And now Ryan able to chip this along the wall. Rodriguez is going to slap this back in. What's up, Robbie? Thanks for jumping in, man. If the Oilers come back and win this Game 7, asks Danelle, we think that this is the biggest collapse in the 4 major pro sports in history? I think so. It's on the biggest stage, and we've never seen, in our lifetime, we've never seen a reverse sweep in the final. You have to go all the way back to the 1942 Stanley Cup during World War II, right? So I think this would be perhaps the worst collapse. And when the Red Wings were swept, when the Red Wings were reverse swept in 42, they were by far the underdog. So I think if the Florida Panthers lost this game, this would be the worst collapse in a postseason series. Here's a chance in alone. Janmark, he shoots, he scores! And just like that, it's 1-1. What a pass. What a pass. Oh, by the way, Cortana, we got to give you a treat, girl. And unbelievable, man. I mean, what a shot from Janmark. Let's take a look at this. That was a primary point for Cody Ceci. And Bobrovsky was thinking that maybe Janmark was going to try to tuck that through his pads or something as the veteran roofs it. It's happening. All right, 1-1 already. And now, here is Barkov into the zone with Reinhart. He'll take this backhand and a save from Skinner. Still alive. He'll flutter it out to Forsling. A shot looking for another tip play in front with, guess who, Carter Verhaeghe in front. Barkov able to get that away from McDavid. behind the net. Sam Reinhart, 57 goals, a shot from the point, and fanning on it was Forsling. He'll put another one on net, and Verhaeghe almost was able to get another chance on goal, just a little bit in front of Skinner. This is going to be like a 6-5 game, but I don't know. The way things are starting, maybe so. Now this is dumped down into the Oilers zone, or excuse me, the Panthers zone. At center ice, slapped in by Luosterine and Skinner with time. But he turns it over along the wall there to Tarasenko. Jumping in his Luosterine. And he had Mikkola open for a one-timer and a bobbling puck there that Skinner was able to get a piece of. This is sent down the length of the ice by the Oilers, and it will be an icing with 11:56 left in the first period. Man, it's that Oilers depth once again. I was saying earlier, Fogle had a big moment. Corey Perry, Adam Henrique, Connor Brown, and now Matthias Janmark. I know it's not his first goal, though. Your mom actually predicted that? Oh, wow. I might have to hire her as an insider for my channel. Oh, chance. Oh, my goodness. What a good save there by Stuart Skinner off of, I think, was that Lundell? Or was it Bennett? Well, anyway, around the Panthers net, Draisaitl, and turned over to Tkachuk. Bennett skating ahead, dumps it down into the Oilers' corner. Cece takes a hit from Tkachuk, able to move it along the wall, but jumping in for the pinch was Kulikov. All right, catch you later, Big Cheese. Rick, hey, thanks for joining, good sir. And we're going to get another icing to the Oilers. 11:20 left on the clock. Oh, man, I might have to turn my air conditioning on again. Getting a little toasty in here. But what a pass from Cody Cece. Not to mention, Janmark had to settle that puck in order to, burst into the Panthers zone. So you have to credit him for that too. Contested puck at center ice. Stenlund able to free this up for Lomberg. And now Kulak being hassled by Okposo. Stenlund cycles it. And good defensive support there from McDavid, but Stenlund corrals the loose puck. Stenlund around the net. Okposo trying to find somebody in front. Lomberg's there. Moving it out to the point for Ekman Larson. A shot and just wide of the net. Ekman Larson getting very offensively involved in this series. And a good strip play there from Cece. Not quite clear, but he'll have some time to gather this puck from behind his own net. You're going with delay on the TV transmission? Yeah, occasionally I might be ahead live streaming. About time that Florida showed some passion. Yeah, and I mean, I know it wasn't a power play goal, but it was power play influence. Now into the zone. Here's Verhaeghe, the goal scorer. Looking for Reinhart out in front, and it went off the skate of Skinner. Ekholm off the boards, cleared. Streaking ahead is Hyman. He's got a little bit of time here, but Reinhart back there to disrupt him. He'll take it from behind the net, feed the point, a shot, and wide of the net there with Bobrovsky very aggressively challenging that shot. Feeding it over to Bouchard at the point, the Bouch, and it went off Sam Reinhart's skate. Otherwise, it's going to be an absolute rocket. Kept in at the point, though. Ekholm a shot, and Bobrovsky able to get a piece of that. Puck's behind the Panthers' net. Hyman funnels it to the point for Bouchard. Out to Ekholm. Cycled along to Janmark. Oh, and there was a screen in front there. A chance in front looked like it was Hyman. But it's still alive in the zone for Bouchard. A shot and gloved down by Bobrovsky and covered up. Woo! Oilers, great possession there. As we trickle down to 9:09 left in this period, and we'll get a commercial break. Wow. So Carter Verhaeghe's first goal since game 1 of this series. Tree's also doing play-by-play? Yeah. I mean, it's a reverse sweep. We all know that urinating Tree is the king of reverse sweep content on YouTube. All right. So commercial break. How you doing there, Cortana? Cortana, she had 3 sessions of fetch today. It was a frisbee at the park, followed by deflated soccer ball outside, and then frisbee outside as well. So she's going to be pretty tuckered out for this stream. At least I hope so, unless we get more goals or super chats. Great action so far, though, guys. At both ends of the ice, of course. Any bets for how many times the Scotiabank commercial will be shown? Well, I can't say because I'm watching, the ESPN stream here in the States. What's the record for goals in a game 7? Jeff Friesen had 2 in '03. So did Ruslan Fedotenko the next year. That game 7 against the Calgary Flames, right? What a tipping goal from Verhaeghe. Actually, hold tight, guys. I'm going to turn on my air conditioning. All right. I'll be right back, guys. There we go. All right. Thanks for your patience. Praise the doggo. Exactly. Smash that like for the doggo. Here's Kevin Stenlund. A shot from the circle, and that went just a little bit over the net. Ekman Larson from the corner, pinching down into the play, feeding it for Stenlund, looking out in front. Oilers doing a good job of tying up the front of the net. A battle in the corner here. And now Nurse. Perry facing some heat there from OEL. And a loose puck gathered by Ryan McLeod, and he'll just hang out from behind his net. Shots favor the Panthers 5-4 so far. Cortana's the new host. I don't think too many people would complain about that. Actually, our viewership would probably triple overnight. Ooh, nice deke there from Fogle, but the Oilers are offside. Did I ever play Marvel vs. Capcom? Not a ton, but yeah, I've played it a little bit. The third one mostly, but a little bit of the second. I do have a copy of MVC2 on Dreamcast, actually. A minimal vintage with the Club Penguin picture. What's the best comeback I've ever seen? Well, the homer in me will say Game 7 between the Sharks and Golden Knights in 2019, especially since I actually went to the game. All right, Kulak. A stretch pass. Nice connection there with Draisaitl. Cycled down low, behind the net. And now Rodriguez off the loose puck, trying to get that away from Holloway, able to get the clear. Oh, John, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Dropping the buck here. Let's give Cortana a treat for that. Look at a big old piece of apple. Here, Cortana, over the shoulder. Whoop. Good catch, girl. Good catch. Thank you, John. Capcom is making a Marvel vs. Capcom fighting collection. Nice. Yeah, great series. Fun for button mashing, but there are tactics in that game. Bouchard facing some heat there from Barkov. And now the Oilers are hemmed in their own zone. Ekblad along the wall. Hyman able to bump that ahead into center ice. And now leading the charge is Ekholm. Feeds it back for McDavid. He'll shuffle that over to the point. And here's Bouchard. The Bouch bomb. A shot and off the post. He had Bobrovsky beat. And now up at the point for Bouchard. He's got McDavid. At the high slot, a shot and a loose stick. Panthers able to get the clear. Moved ahead for Reinhart. But Bouchard is able to track it down. And Verhaeghe's down in the corner as we've got 5 skaters battling for the puck now. Looks like the Panthers are awake. Yeah, much better now. Down to 6:15 in this period. The puck bounces around the net, and now Kulikov jumping into the play. Able to hand it off to Lundell. Lundell cycled around the net for Tarasenko. Bouchard nearly able to pick off that pass. It funnels all the way to Ekman Larson. And now Ekholm. And the Oilers able to get the clear. Good pressure there from the third line. And we'll have a puck out of play as we get down to 5:50 in the first period. And we'll go to another commercial break. How fun. Oilers win 6-4. Oh, boy. Yeah, some of you out there think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, Bouchard nearly made it 2-1 right there. But Sergei Bobrovsky can thank the post. Hoping for the day when EA brings back Madden NHL games to Nintendo consoles. I'm hoping and praying for the day that 2K actually gets a chance to make a football game, which will never happen. And a basketball game. Oh, actually, they still do that. That's right. What trailer park does Florida play in? They play in Sunrise, and the name of the arena is what? Amarant Bank Arena? I think that's what it's called. Hi, Cortana. Strong Arm, how you doing? Ready for the Oilers? And this is your first ever Stanley Cup Final. Oh, lucky you. This is a great way to complete your first full season as a fan. 2 Scotia commercials, 10 more to go. Really? Oh boy. What's the equivalent of the Scotiabank commercial in the States, guys? 5-3 with an empty netter. Yeah, I said 4-1 Oilers with an empty netter. All right. Under 6 to play in the first period. And man, Oilers depth, man. That continues to be a story here in this series. Yeah, Sunrise is a suburb of Miami, but it's actually closer to Fort Lauderdale, which is kind of another larger city in that metropolitan area. So it's northwest of Miami. Are only matched by car commercials or even car insurance commercials, right? All right. So pumped for Celebrini. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm sure you already saw, but I have a video out on Macklin Celebrini right now. I just published it today. All right. Ekman Larson. And scooping this up is Lundell in the neutral zone. Lois Dorinen able to chip it into the zone, but batted out by Darnell Nurse. Here's Connor Brown. Cycles this along for Henrique. A shot at the side and a pad save by Bobrovsky. Kulikov. And he'll turn this over in the neutral zone. As getting the Florida zone now is Philip Broberg. Oh, Brown took a big hit there. I thought it was almost knee on knee. Fed to the point. As Cece will look for Fogle down low. Oh, a chance by Connor Brown trying to center it. And the loose puck is covered up by Bobrovsky. Yeah, how you doing there, CJ? Some rare time off of work, probably. You're an Avs fan, but cheering on Canada. I think I saw that comment actually from earlier today or yesterday. I'm in Idaho. It's 92 in Missoula. Yeah, I saw that. I was looking at the temperature in Darby because I'm going there for 4th of July, and it was like 89. And over here right now it's like 75. But it's gonna be like 85 tomorrow. So warm, but not like uncomfortably warm. We're actually gonna get. I'm sure you've gotten some thunderstorm activity in recent weeks as well. Come to New York, check out a game on Long Island or MSG. Yeah, at some point I want to touch them all, man. Every single arena. That'd be fantastic. I'll have to make a trip next year somewhere. But that could be anywhere. I mean, in the Western Conference, right? I still have to go to arenas in Canada, so maybe I'll do that next year. Cece a shot off the side of the net. And now chipped down A bobbling puck corralled by Kachuk. Looking for the point, kept at the zone by Montour. A shot and wide of the net. Mikkola in the corner. Florida has really been moving their defensemen down into the offensive zone. Getting in on that cycle game, boss. So Bennett, a one-timer from the point. Rebound scooped up by Rodriguez. Taken down by Holloway. Supported by Bennett. And we're actually going to get a hand pass. So we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. Any opinions on what the Sharks do at 14? You'd like a defenseman. Yeah, I heard that Greer's going to pick the best. Are we going to another commercial? Holy, what is this? The NBA? So yeah, I heard that with pick number 14, Greer wants to get the best player available. I personally would like to see them get a defenseman as well. Whether that's trading up or even trading down to get another asset in the draft. If Yakemchuk is available, I want him. He's got size, and I heard that he can hit pretty well too. Hi, Cortana. With some two-way upside. There's also a Norwegian defenseman who is supposed to be really good in his own zone. I would be keen to explore him as an option, especially if we can trade down. But yeah, I'd like to go defense. And in the second round, I hope we can get a goaltending prospect. It's been thunderstorming and about 30 Celsius. Ooh, west of Toronto. So that's 30 Celsius is pretty warm, right? That's like, what, like 87 or 88, something like that? You guys are getting more Scotiabank commercials? Hmm. I'm seeing a Stanley Cup commercial right now. That's not bad. Yeah, but good action. Both teams have brought their intensity tonight. That's good, right? The most anticlimactic thing you can get in sports is a blowout in game 7, unless you're a fan of the team that's actually serving up the blowout. And that Florida kid behind the visiting bench is hanging out, putting up the guns, but he actually has a shirt on this time. Smith, Celebrini, possibly Musty, yeah, or dare I say Cole Iserman, who's actually played with Celebrini before. Uh, whose name has appeared the most on the Stanley Cup? That belongs to Henri Richard. I think he won, 11 cups? He's basically the Bill Russell of the NHL. Oilers able to get this deep. Touched up by Bobrovsky to Stenlund. Montour, and now turned over. Ryan, and he's unable to continue the possession as this gets sent down by the Panthers and will go for an icing. Who are we rooting for, says BT? All right, well, I'm going for the Panthers. I've been watching them more than any other team, not the Sharks, and not the Hurricanes, probably, since the inception of this channel. Really, I've followed them more than almost any other team in the NHL. And I'm going for them, especially for our friend Jaws on Flying Fluffy Hockey and his family. Would love to see that. But hey, if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, it'll probably be brought here to Spokane for a day. So I could see the Stanley Cup again. Oh, Lomberg and a blocker save by Skinner. Now here's Ekblad. Behind the net for Reinhart. Ricocheting off the boards. A shot from Forsling, and taking that off of his gear was Skinner. Hottest temp where I'm at, probably 107 degrees, at least since I've lived here. 115, that's hell. Now Bouchard from behind his net. Hyman trying to bat this out, tied up by Forsling. Now McDavid able to move this out to Hyman, and he'll charge ahead. Against 3 Panthers, he's able to get it behind the net. And the Oilers will be one and done as Reinhart and Everhage as the line gets a change for the Panthers. I'm watching KD. I'm watching the ESPN Plus stream. So that's on ABC essentially. Loesterinen now. A battle along the half wall in the Oilers zone. As he'll move it into the slot, a shot, and just wide off the stick of Kulikov. That was a good look there, and he'll be able to keep this possession alive. Tarasenko trying to feed it through some legs. Now Ekman Larson, and he's stripped by Connor Brown as Henrique trying to get the clear. Loesterinen trying to extend the possession, but now Henrique over to Cody Ceci, the primary assist on Edmonton's first goal. And they'll get a change with a $1:45 left. Bennett, and this one goes hard off his skates. Broberg able to steer it over to Draisaitl. And now Foegele. And we've got a contested puck in the neutral zone. Rodriguez. And he's bumped off the puck there by McLeod. Nice play from Montour to extend the position. A chance in front, and Tkachuk. I don't know if that went off of Skinner, but it went out of the net, or out of play. Do I have a favorite superhero? I don't really follow like superhero stories too much, but it's always been Wolverine. So I'll watch the new Deadpool film. That was a great play from Montour. Yeah, Florida's defensemen have been really active in the offensive zone in this period. Still can't wrap your head around the Hurdle trade. I know. It's not so much trading Hurdle. It's really here's Verhaeghe, and a shot that gets blocked. Another chance, and Skinner might have gotten a piece of that. Still alive for Reinhart. Shoots that off of Bouchard. And now Barkov. Nice play from Bouchard and good support from Ekholm. But this puck is now off the dasher as Verhaeghe gathers it from behind the net. Looks out in front. A chance, and just wide of the net there from Reinhart. This top line for Florida doing some damage, though. Behind the net, once again for Reinhart. He gets shoved down by Ekholm. McDavid trying to support Ekholm here. And a chance in front of the net. Not able to get that shot on goal. And now Hyman. He'll come the other way. Down to 30 seconds in this period. Forsling. Feeds this down. He's got Reinhart. Well, I almost thought he got boarded there. And now kept in at the point by Mikkola. Final seconds of the period. Down to 10 seconds. Here's Mikkola again. And sticked aside by Skinner. Loesterinen. 3 seconds. Behind the net. Can they throw something to the net? And time runs out in the first period. And I think Skinner got a stop there at the buzzer. So end of the first period, it's 1-1, everybody. Woo-wee. Let's see here. With the Hurdle trade, it's all about it's the fact that they're going to have to retain salary for 6 years. I know the salary cap is going up, so that's good. But it's those 2 third round picks that they dealt away. Maybe I'm just splitting hairs, but anyway, it was shocking for sure. But do I have some optimism that it could pay off for the Sharks? I do. Right. All right. You're nervous? Yeah, it's a heck of a game so far. I mean, Bouchard, right, nearly made it 2-1, but the Panthers there in those last couple of minutes, they were really able to establish the zone and just keep up the pressure with that forecheck. But a really good contest through the first 20. That's what matters most. Right, Cortana? Oh, look at this one. Cortana, what a sweetheart. Actually, I have the game on. You see that on Cortana's side of things here. So I gotta put this thing down, or else I'll be flagged for copyright infringement. A goal horn quiz. I did. Now, were you around when we did the goal horn quiz with our members? At some point, we might have to bring that back. Maybe do AHL goal horns. You're fine. You're fine, Trevor. I understand that sometimes we go from PG to PG-13 here. That's okay. Within certain parameters, but yeah. A Stanley Cup ring for the San Jose Sharks. It would be, there would be just a ton of silicon in the ring. It probably could, like, connect to Starlink, and, it would be made out of, like, tinted topaz. I'm not sure. You went to a division rival? You love the trade? Well, we'll see what you think 5 years from now. Alright. So, what do you guys think so far? Has the first period altered your expectation of this final outcome? What's the most ugly piece of merch I've seen by any team? Ugly piece of merch. Oh boy, I don't know the merch game too much beyond actual jerseys. There we go. PK Subban as an anchorman, he wasn't playing for the Devils. Um, Subban only played, I think, what, one season with the Devils or two? How about Michkov? It hurts even more now that the Sharks passed on him. I mean, we got Will Smith. I don't think that that's us losing out on Michkov so much. Because Smith was still a pretty top tier player in that draft. But I have to see the on ice product, right? Let's see here, a 2025 like a rankings video or a reaction. I expect to do that in the off season, yeah. Or yeah, I expect in the off season to talk about the new jerseys because even though they're going to be basically the same, we'll see a few new designs out there, like for the Ducks and for the Kings. Um, Horrific plaid branded monstrosities out there. Yeah, or like the ugly Christmas sweaters. Any Preds jersey, except the checkerboard jersey. I'm a fan of that. And I actually really like Reverse Retro 1.0. I thought that one was killer. Um, all right. Is this a good time to do it? Well, sure it is. It's a good time to do it. A lot of people already know about this, but I want to make sure that I'm reaching as many different pieces of our audience as I can. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm looking for people to help actually invest in this channel's growth and success. So I have a link to this in the video description down below, but basically I'm looking for those to chip in with a one-time contribution, and you would actually be rewarded a small percentage of the channel's revenue over a certain period of time. So this is to help fund better projects, bigger projects, hire talent out there to help me with things like video editing, because some of these projects do consume up to 150 hours. No kidding, especially when we look at our historical deep dive videos. So if you're interested in supporting the channel that way, I will put up a link here in the chat. And you don't have to be strapped with cash to be a contributor to this channel. It's a very affordable entry to become an investor. So there's some more information there. And basically, as you see on my screen here, all you got to do is say, hey, I'm interested. Here's my email. And then we'll be in contact after that. I might do some fundraising later on in the summer. So thank you. And thank you to everybody else who's already checked out the page and signed up. That's fantastic of you. And that's the end of what I'll say there. I'll announce it one or two more times. Just FYI. Also, of course, if you haven't already, do smash that like button. Friendly reminder: no spamming. Take it easy with the messages in all caps. No cursing. No hate speech or hate directed towards other views, mods, or streamer. Yeah, just if it's PG, it'll probably fly just fine here. Occasionally, we all have our moments of outburst. Just let's keep that to a minimum if you can. CJ and the rest of our moderators are very chill, cool people, and so they're here to make sure that everything flows smoothly. So thank you, CJ, and thank you, Mod Squad. All right, so dang it, why can't I pin this in the chat? Come on, YouTube, get it together. All right, we'll pin the message. All right. Yeah, our poll is at 6832. I think that's exactly what my poll was in our community tab, or basically the same thing. What is this? Big Willie down the left side dangles, dishes it to Selly for a twisted wrister. Short side on Darcy Kemper. Okay, I can take that. Sharks win, Sharks win. What is that gonna be, the 2029 Western Conference Final? Sharks make it as the, second wild card, of course. Uh, is it final or bust for the Canes next season? So I would argue that it was this season because of all the different free agents that they have. Like Natchez is probably going to be traded. He's a restricted free agent. Seth Jarvis is a restricted free agent. Brett Pesce, Brady Shea. They did sign Jalen Chatfield, Jake Gensel. Like these are huge names. So I thought that their best opportunity to win it was this year. Brett Pesce could be going to New Jersey. I heard that too. I'm really glad though that the Hurricanes signed Chatfield for 3 years. He's in his prime right now, and dating back to last year, I said that this guy could easily be a second pairing defenseman on most teams. I'm happy to see what he can do out there in a bigger role next season. He's been great. Any thoughts on the new coach Warsofsky? I like him. He's going to develop and mature as a head coach in the NHL alongside these young talents. So he's going to be treated to hopefully what becomes a great roster, or at least there are some good foundational pieces there. And I mean, the guy won the Calder Cup with the Chicago Wolves. I think he went to the final, I want to say, with the South Carolina Stingrays. Those are both, very well-run programs for the most part. I'm optimistic, and I say, why not take a chance on him, really, versus anybody else who's still out there on the market? Why not take a chance on him? But the thing is that they need to give him the opportunity to succeed in the NHL long term as the head coach of this team. They can't just say it's been 3 years and we're not in the playoffs, so you're done. When you have that resume, that pedigree, you got to trust the process with it, right? Hey, what's up, Ember King? How you doing, man? Chatfield's a good piece. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Brett Pesce could be a New Jersey Devil. I mean, do you guys expect the Devils to look more like what we saw now, I guess 2 seasons ago? Are they going to look more like that with Sheldon Keefe? As we get a look at Cortana's butt, smash that like for Cortana's butt, everybody. All right. Cortana wants to stretch her legs, I guess. How are the Yeah, you're wondering how the Panthers are looking right now. They look good. I mean, granted, Evan Bouchard rocketed one off the post. It could be 2-1 Oilers. But as that period went along, I thought the Panthers looked like generally the stronger team. The last couple minutes, they put together some really good cycles. I think that, they're getting aggressive in the offensive zone with their defensemen. I hope that doesn't come back to bite them in the butt. They did surrender a goal in transition on a breakaway. But overall, I think they look good. I think they look pretty physically engaged too. It looks like, they're almost starting the series anew. Ah, the new logo for the Kings and going back to the old school. Yeah, they're going back to the Chevy inspired logo with the just like a little bit of refinement there with the crown. And also the Ducks will see their new logo, or their revamped logo pretty soon as well, with the draft coming up this week. And I mean, to see the Kings kind of return to a more classic look, to see the Ducks, take a cue from the Mighty Ducks with the current color scheme. As a fan of a California hockey team that's not either team, I'm still pretty excited about that. And I'm going to say this now, as we get to the end of the decade, I think the Ducks might actually just flat out dominate the Pacific. But the Sharks could be right in that conversation as well. But we have a long way to go here, let's be honest. Jersey has a logjam at right hand defenseman. Hamilton, Nemitz. Oh, yeah, I forgot he's right handed. Marino, who could be on the move. Seamus Casey as well. And marooning Nemitz to bottom pairing minutes. He needs to play a lot, in your opinion. Sure. Yeah, that is a logjam. Because, I mean, Casey hasn't played a game in the majors yet, has he? Old Kings and Ducks is better than current Kings and Ducks. Yeah. You remember Ethan Bear from Edmonton? You like that guy so much. I don't know where he's playing right now. Yeah. Where was he playing last? Was it Vancouver or was it Washington? Panthers and Kings are your two favorite teams. Well, Kings got to get themselves out of the first round for a change, or past the first round. Hopefully, they don't have to play Edmonton next year. All right, a little bit moment to breathe here. Fortunately, yeah, Olmark is on the move to the Senators. Good trade for the Senators. They got rid of Corpusalo after a bad year. Could he bounce back next year? He can, but he's kind of polarizing in terms of his performances. Right, he goes from having a terrible season to a very good season to having a bad season. Bears on the Hurricanes. Oh, really? I know that he was at least at one point. He's on the Capitals right now. Says Anime Nerd. Got it. Thank you. You might get 4 jerseys soon. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, this offseason is a good chance to buy some Adidas jerseys that will probably go on sale. But yeah, I think that's a good deal for the Senators. I know they retain part of Corpusalo's contract, 25%. Honestly, that's not that bad. They gave him a really good contract last offseason, but to get out of that and only have to pay that much, I don't think that's too bad. They also forfeit their 2025 first round pick, which could be a really good one for Boston, but they need better goaltending. And Olmark is a proven goaltender, you know. Catherine says 5-2 Oilers. Ooh, they're gonna have to get some more shots on goal, I think. But Sharks made a sneaky trade the other day. Yeah, actually, I like that one. Exchanging Ozzy Weisblatt. It's so funny. It's almost like the Barkley Goodrow trade never happened because they traded Goodrow to Tampa. They got back a first round pick. They used that to draft Weisblatt. Now they get Goodrow back via the Rangers, of course, and now Weisblatt's off the Barracuda. But the guy that they got, he's a hoss. He's a big dude. Apparently, he could be a pretty damn good bottom sixer for San Jose. Getting a Pasternak jersey, oh, that's kick ass. Panthers in a Sharks jersey. There you go, Riley. Yeah, definitely get yourself a Sharks jersey. They are pretty lovely. My dog's name is Cortana, named her after the sidekick in Halo. We're talking about like Halo 1 Cortana, though, before they sexualized her a ton. So, yeah. Because Cortana here is my sidekick for sure. Olmark is an upgrade in net, but a lot needs to happen for the Sens to be in playoff contention like the odds. Yeah, man. Remember how good those. I don't think all that many. We don't talk enough about how good those Senators were with how many weapons they had, how they had future Hall of Famers from Alfredson to Chara to Hossa. They had, the back-to-back 50-goal seasons for Danny Heatley. They had the great Radic Bonk, right? They had Wade Redden on defense. They had some really, really good personnel there. You love Halo, right on. Have I watched Spy X? I don't think I know what that is. I don't really watch TV shows. It's mostly like just watching South Park, and Shoresy and documentaries. Yeah, and Jason Spezza too. Don't forget. Yeah. Have I ever seen The Rocket? No, I've never actually. Mark Savard is an assistant coach for the Leafs. Yeah, good for him to continue his coaching career. Also, the Timberwolves have extended coach Chris Finch. The only Timberwolves coach I can name is Flip Saunders for 4 more years. Yeah, meaning there's at least a 4-year window to win an NBA championship with Anthony Edwards. Well, hopefully there's a 4-year championship window opening up for another Minnesota team in the near future. Skull. Good to have you here, by the way, Micro. Long time Twister. Oh, by the way, Emperor King said, happy that the Kings got rid of PLD and got Kemper. It sucks that they have, 3 years of $5.8 million for Kemper, just given how he's tailed off the past couple seasons. But I think that's probably a net positive for the Kings overall. Do they still need a better goaltender? I think so. But, Riddick, though, was awesome for them last year. Just came out of nowhere. I thought his career was over, basically. So, you never know. A change of scenery can really benefit you. Here we go again. Yeah. Oh, no, no, Dan. Here we go again with the Vikings references. Yeah, yeah. I know. I know. We're gonna do a member stream at some point, talking about the NFL. For anybody who hasn't checked out our memberships yet, we do members live streams. Usually, I do like 3 a month, and then I also upload some videos, mostly for people in the MVP tier. But we also have some videos going out to our membership base for all levels. So check that out. As low as $3 a month. You know, and you're supporting my work that way, and you're contributing to the Cortana Treat Fund. Still want a King Stadium Series jersey from 2019. It's so expensive, really. Barkov is truly an impressive two-way player. Yeah, really. It's kind of like, the torch was passed from Jere Lehtinen to Pavel Datsyuk to Patrice Bergeron, and eventually it will probably be the Patrice Bergeron trophy unless Barkov has something to say about that. What time will I start on Friday? That will be 6:30 Eastern, so a half hour before the draft starts. 27 shot attempts by the Panthers compared to just 15 for the Oilers. But they don't ask how, they ask how many, at least in terms of goals. All right, let's see here. Wondering, are the Sharks going to keep the Finn jersey as their home jersey? No, I haven't seen anything from like Aesthetics or anybody else like that in the community. So they're gonna stick with teal. They're not gonna wear black at home primarily. But I want that Cali Finn jersey to be part of the rotation permanently. That jersey is smoking. All right, here is Kulak. We're underway in the second period. Can't quite get behind the goal as it was knocked away. And up ice, chipping it was Kachuk. Goes behind the net. A chance out in front. Oh, Rodriguez. And I think that there was a stick that separated. Oh, a deflection there from Kachuk. And Skinner able to cover up. The game is awesome. Love you all. Oh, thank you. Great to have a viewer like yourself coming in from X. Yeah, that was a nifty tip play there with Kachuk. All right. 8-6. The shots favor the Panthers. So a lot of shot attempts, sure, but Edmonton has blocked their fair share. Face-off in the Oilers zone, controlled by Edmonton, and turned over along the boards to Tarasenko. Looking out in front. A chance. Oh, and a nice tie-up there by Janmark on Tarasenko. But that pass couldn't quite get through. Chipped down by the Oilers. Giving chase is Henrique, laying a hit there to Ekman Larson as it's scooped up by A2 Luostarinen. By Kulikov. Gaining the zone are the Panthers. A chance and a shot that glances off a Nurse off of Tarasenko. Off the stick of Tarasenko, that is. A battle in the corner. A third line out there for the Panthers as Nurse shoves down Lundell. And now Broberg from behind his net. A former, I think, 5th overall draft pick several years back. But still, pretty young he is. Oilers going to change up here as, with time, Ekman Larson will steer this ahead to his partner. And he'll come ahead into the neutral zone and chip down to Skinner behind his net. Paddled out of the zone and chasing this down is Ekblad, but not quite an icing as it goes the length of the ice. You love Paul Maurice interviews? Yeah. That guy is a character, isn't he? And here's a chance off a turnover. Bouchard, and he just misses the net. But an absolute rocket. Now a chance of backhander and turned aside there by Bobrovsky. Off of, was that McDavid? Ekholm to Bouchard at the point. High slot and blocked. Knocked away by Verhaeghe. And cleared, but not deeply. And we'll have a puck out of play. Yeah, Paul Maurice, his first head coaching job came in the mid-90s with the Hartford Whalers. He was just 28 years old. He's been a head coach in the NHL now more than half of his lifetime. Isn't that crazy, guys? All right, in the neutral zone, Stenlund is going to lose this one to Derek Ryan, but the Panthers able to get a stick on this and slap it down. Stenlund trying to seal things off along the boards. Fourth line out there for the Panthers, and same thing for the Oilers. Chip down, and Montour will have to retrieve this with minimal pressure from Corey Perry. Okposo going against Kulak, gets around the net, trying to cycle this for Stenlund. Instead, it's in the hands of McLeod. Oilers getting the clear. Now Bobrovsky had to handle that from behind his net as Rodriguez collects it. Ahead for Nico Mikkola. Or is that... Yeah. Draisaitl not able to get it clear initially. Turned over along the half wall. A shot off the pad. And Tkachuk takes a spill as he takes out an Oiler. And we're actually going to get a penalty for that? That's interesting because Tkachuk had clearly fallen. And it wasn't like he took him out with his stick. Does anybody have an opinion on that? I thought that was just purely incidental, but like not with the stick. So I don't think that should be a tripping, but tell me if I'm on crack or something. Let's take a look. Tkachuk takes a spill. Yeah, and there's nothing that Tkachuk can do to get out of the way. Yeah. Ray Ferraro seems a little bit perplexed by this too. And look, Tkachuk even tried to ball himself up to not trip Foegele, but that's going to be a power play to the Oilers. Does anybody have a shot on that or a call on that? That's a little perplexing to me, man. Well, anyway, Oilers get their first power play of the game. McDavid will have to replace Draisaitl, but he'll win the faceoff. Bouchard to the faceoff circle for Draisaitl. Hanging on, sending it down low. Looking for Nugent Hopkins, gets moved along to Bouchard. A shot and off a stick that gets broken. Retrieved by McDavid, but Luostarinen not quite able to clear. Nugent Hopkins looking for the seam pass. Draisaitl takes a check. Cycle back to the point for Bouchard. At the circle, Draisaitl down low for McDavid. Looking for the one-timer with Bouchard. He passes. He shoots and off the skate of Bobrovsky. Still alive. Draisaitl with time. Stenlund is without a stick, by the way, as Nugent Hopkins takes it from the point. McDavid looking down low. He's got Draisaitl. Out to Bouchard. Just working it around the horn here. Seam pass to McDavid. One-timer! And Draisaitl couldn't quite get good wood on that. Stenlund couldn't quite get the clear, though. He's still out there without a stick, and Florida has to be gassed. Draisaitl. And now Bouchard over to McDavid. Getting down low, cycling it, looking for it out in front, and Bobrovsky is there to cover up. Ooh-wee. Hasty call there. Happens to you in the video game all the time? Kind of does, yeah. I've had that happen to me before. In like NHL games from, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Boy, oh boy, guys. Woo, that's intense. This is intense. Down to 35 in the power play. As Barkov is going to take this against McDavid as Draisaitl got tossed again. Won by Barkov. Kulikov able to steer this over to Reinhart from behind the net. And now Sam can clear it down and chew up some time. Skinner settling things down for Bouchard. And the Oilers will start from their own zone. McDavid off the back pass. Knifing into the zone. Sending it over to Draisaitl and now out to the point where Bouchard is. Looking down low, he's got Nugent Hopkins. A chance in front. They had Hyman on the back door. They couldn't quite get on net. McDavid. And a one-timer and saved by Bobrovsky as we're back to even strength. Do I have a favorite South Park character? I mean, apart from like, of course, Cartman and Randy being up there, probably my favorite character. I'm a big Kenny fan. I love Kenny. And also one of my favorite characters who I think is appreciated, but maybe a little bit underrated still, is the great Jimmy Vollmer. But don't forget Mr. Mackey. Okay. The turning point of the Cats kill it off. Yeah, and we're back to even strength. So let's see if they have some momentum from this. A good kill. Yeah. I mean, Oilers had some creative plays there, but the Florida defense was able to disrupt a couple of those opportunities in front of the net. All right, we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone here between Rodriguez and Henrique. Oh no, my video feed just cut out. That happens at least one time every stream though through ESPN Plus, so I'll be able to get this back up. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. Woo. Although it's kind of low res right now. Oh no. Oh come on. The site just totally went down on me. Uh, that didn't sound suggestive. Okay, here we go. We're good now. I think. All right. And the Panthers are called for icing the puck here. Fish sticks? Yeah, I like fish sticks. Okay. Oh, geez. Now ESPN's just toying with me. Yeah, Kenny's your favorite? Yeah, Kenny's funny. My favorite one is the one that involves cat urine. Favorite Kenny episode. All right. Well, anyway. ESPN's feed here is absolutely cat urine. Florida controlling this face-off in their own zone, but Montour able to get this cleared. But this will be an icing as my feed returns to high definition. Thank God. As we're down to 14 minutes here in the second period. How's everybody doing? Everybody's heart rate stable. Sportsnet's better than ABC. Probably is. I only see Sportsnet for the highlights. All right. Bouchard. Oh, on the back door, he had Ekholm. McDavid did, but Bobrovsky fortunately was able to get a glove on that and cover up. And it looks like we're going to go to the first commercial break of the period. So hold tight, guys. I'm going to take a wicked yes. So hang tight, guys. I'll be right back. I'm just going to use the restroom. And we're back. Oh, Paul Maurice. He was just asked about his reaction to the tripping call, and he said, "Oh, we don't pay attention to that. We're used to it." Hershey Bears 6 minutes away from back-to-back Calder Cups, and I mean that would be what, like their 11th or 12th in franchise history. Man, I feel bad for Coachella Valley. They've done so well their first couple of years. I was rooting for them, man. But it's funny because I actually have a Hershey Bears jersey. All right, back to the action we go. So behind the Panthers net as the fourth line out there for the Oilers. Yeah, Cortana, of course, the Twisted Wrister Insider. Now here's Corey Perry around the net. And Foegele gets tripped up. I thought that was more worthy of a call than what we saw on Tkachuk earlier. All right. Okay. Yeah, they're still talking about the Tkachuk penalty. That's funny. Down to 13:29. Puck is still in the Panthers zone. We got a face-off with Draisaitl and Bennett. A big scramble for the puck, shot by Foegele, and a blocker save from Bobrovsky. Good anticipation there. Behind the net, Mikkola turns it over to Draisaitl with that big canoe paddle. Cleared out by Tkachuk. Rodriguez, actually. But he'll cough it up as the Panthers can't quite get in the zone, but he'll shoot it in. Skinner able to get a pad on that. Draisaitl skates it out. Coming into the zone. Hands it back to Holloway. A shot that Mikkola contests instantly. Kulak behind the net. Now, Draisaitl trying to get away from Montour. Verhaeghe trying to find a teammate there, but a convergence of white jerseys on the puck. Reinhart behind the net, trying to hand it off to Verhaeghe. Carter Verhaeghe shoots. Oh, he did the same move that he pulled off, I think, against the Bruins last year, or at least it looked really similar. Oh, they're bumping Bulls on Parade at the arena. Classic Rage Against the Machine song. I love that song. Guerrilla Radio too, another Rage Against the Machine classic. I can't hear that song without thinking of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. That's like a top 10 video game all time for me. I probably played about, I don't know, at least 200, 300 hours on that thing. All right. Face off in the Oilers zone, controlled by Edmonton. Scooped out, gloved down by a Panther, and now Henrique. Around Bobrovsky. And off the wall, looking for the clear. That one was up in the air for a long time. Still alive, though, in the Panthers zone. Fed back to the point. There's Broberg getting around Lostereen and flat-footed. Fed back to the point for Henrique. Lostereen able to get his body in the way of that shot. Still alive in the zone, though. Good job by this line for the Oilers. It's Connor Brown trying to extend the play, but Lundell arriving in support. McDavid jumping in, able to find the point where Ekholm is, and now cycled along for Janmark. Bouchard slapping it around the net. He's got the captain. Back to Ekholm. This possession really chewing up some time. Now a big battle here behind the net. McDavid, man, oh boy. As this possession persists, Hyman taking some contact there from Lostereen, but able to shake him. Around the net, feeding the point, Bouchard. He's got McDavid at the circle. And he'll spill. Nobody was on him, though, so he was able to keep things going. Behind the net, here's Hyman. And Lostereen doing everything he can to hassle Zach Hyman. Ekholm at the point of shot, and a save off the glove of Bobrovsky, or into the glove, I should say. That was a hell of a sequence for Edmonton. They might have had two wholesale changes that whole shift there. Anybody else watching that? That was crazy. I mean, God, McDavid even fell down with the puck, and he was still able to get up and make a play. Uh, I know, Riley. I've actually never seen Frozen, so I mean, I just know about it. That's about it. I think I've probably heard it passively one time, but I'm from the days of the legend Tim Rice, with the Aladdin soundtrack, and even like the underrated Hunchback of Notre Dame. Pretty dark film, though, if you're a kid. All right. Now we've got Draisaitl against Reinhart. Barkov able to touch it over to Ekblad, and he'll skate it out, move it ahead as Barkov gets it deep against Kulak behind the net. Ekblad at the point. Looking for the tip play. Barkov not able to get it on net. Good idea. Reinhart now, as he takes a check from Ceci. Dare I say, Cody Ceci's had a really good game so far. Skated ahead by Kulak. Drop pass for Perry. Looking to keep this in at the point. Over to Ekholm, sending it down low for McLeod. Third line for the Panthers out there now moved ahead for Aaron Ekblad. Into the zone. And now around the net, Reinhart, and intercepted by Bouchard. Ekblad, as the Cats will re-enter. Shot from Rodriguez. And behind the net, a chance. Oh, my goodness. And Skinner was out of position there. But it looks like that was Tkachuk, or was that Verhaeghe unable to wrap it around? Ekman Larson, nice strip there by Fogle. Touches it over to McDavid. And with speed come the Oilers. Bouchard hangs out at the point, sends it down low. Rodriguez, the first one there. Nice heads-up play by Erod. And Tkachuk, he'll send it around the net, looking for with Broberg, the first one there. Taken down, and no call, as Tkachuk was upended by Nurse. I thought there was some sort of a hook there. Boy, I'd like to see that again. That could be a bit of a homer in me. Shout out from MJ. Is MJ going to pop in here? That'd be awesome. I know that he's busy with Jaws' stream, though. He's a moderator there, and big friend of the channel, and a shot that just missed the net there for the Panthers. Chance down at the goal line. Stanley not quite able to get that to Skinner. Janmark. And now Broberg skating it out. Philip Broberg off the glove of Ekman Larson, but he'll regroup with some time here. We're down to 8:20 here in the second period. Favorite Disney movie is a Goofy movie. Wow. Oh, man, there are so many, quotes and, here's a chance for Verhaeghe shoots and a blocker save. He pulled out another signature Verhaeghe move there, but a great save from Skinner. She looks tired. Oh, hey, Christine. Good to have you here in a Game 7 especially. I know that you've been waiting for this for quite some time. Cortana played fetch with me 3 times today. I like to tire her out as best as I can when we're doing a stream, so she hangs out down low like she is right now and gets her treats for being a good girl. Connor Brown cycling it to Draisaitl, moving it over to Holloway off of the corner boards. And now Draisaitl from behind the net. Hands it off to Bouchard and gets it back immediately. Shot! And Bobrovsky getting a piece, or maybe that went off of Perry, who retrieves this and sends it over to Holloway. Good shift here in response by the Oilers. Moved out to the point. Bouchard touching it back over to Draisaitl. And miscommunication there, but Holloway able to hang on to this from behind the net. And finally, Verhaeghe, no, he fans on the clear attempt. Reinhart. And finally, the Panthers able to get this clear. Oilers able to quickly re-enter, though. Here comes Zach Hyman around the net, checked by Forsling. But jumping in there in anticipation was Nugent Hopkins, the former first overall pick of 2011, I want to say. And this puck goes into the Oilers zone for Ekholm to retrieve, but hassled by none other than A2 Luostarinen. Tarasenko able to send this around the net. Jumping into the play is Montour. It's been kind of quiet this period. Tarasenko trying to extend the play. And instead, Ekholm here will slap this around the net and touch by a teammate out of the zone. Refs being very selective. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Bruin. Thanks for jumping in, man. Just got back from putting up some ceiling tiles. Good on you, man. I've never, I don't think I've done that. I'm sure that I learned something related to ceramics back in my day, though. A shot off of the blocker of Bobrovsky. Just a calm backhander there. At center ice, Tkachuk and Bennett fighting for that to send it back to Kulikov. We're down to just 5:30 in this period, man. Not too many whistles recently, which I like. Oh, a chance. Loose puck in front of the net, in front of Skinner. It ends up behind the net. A battle in the corner there. Rodriguez and Henrique able to come up with this. And Fogle. Nice heads-up play to it. Get it over to Broberg. Holloway takes a check from Kulikov. And now Holloway, behind the net, gets taken down by Kulikov. Able to still make a play, though, from his butt. Reinhart, nice heads-up anticipation, but moved down low. Maybe a chance here. Oh, and the puck was nearly on the goal line. It was knocked away. Unbelievable. I got to see a replay of that. Reinhart in transition at the dot. He shoots. He scores! Oh, my goodness. A huge momentum shift as Sam Reinhart makes it 2-1. Oh, unbelievable sequence there. The Oilers looked to have the go-ahead goal. Unbelievable. Look at this. It went through the crease. Kulikov is literally falling over. He falls into the net and happens to get his stick on the puck. And Reinhart takes it into the zone himself and from the dot goes short side on Skinner. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, dude. Holy crap. And 4:49 left in the second period. So the Oilers are anything but out of the woods in this period. Well played. Man, that's just like that play from Kulikov. Literally falling over into the net and gets his stick on a puck that's in the crease. That's got to be one of the just craziest, exactly, one of the craziest sequences I've ever seen in this game. Let's go hockey. Exactly. Exactly, man. Hey, what's up, Ewoks? Here's Stenlund now. He comes in behind the net. He's trying to tuck it in. He's got Lomberg on the doorstep. He couldn't quite get it, though. Lomberg laying a hit. That fourth line out there, banging some bodies. Okposo around the net. And now Perry. Ooh, almost a collision into the ref there from Stenlund. And now here's Perry into the zone. And nothing but red jerseys there. This will be an icing, though, to the Panthers with 3:59 remaining. Heart-stopping action. And Rhino. Wow. That sequence, honestly, that might be the craziest sequence I've ever been live for on this channel. It's right up there. To say that's memorable is a huge understatement. 10th of the playoffs from Sam Reinhart, by the way. Luostarinen able to backhand it out of the zone. Time to bring the cup back to Canada. Yeah, like I would not panic one bit if I'm the Oilers. Nice drop pass from Draisaitl. He's got McDavid over to Draisaitl. One-timer save. No, actually, didn't quite get on goal. My bad. But I thought they were going to score there. It's a one-timer from McDavid to Draisaitl. That's got like a 60% conversion rate. 60% at the time, it works all the time. As we go to our final commercial break of the period. Right, how we're looking for that paycheck. Exactly. Holy God. Let's get a heart rate check on this guy. Whew. Oh my gosh. Man. This could be like Minnesota versus Colorado in 2014, the Niederreiter goal. That was a hell of a series too. You want to see Connor McDavid do the Michigan? If Connor McDavid does a Michigan, I might have to name my firstborn kid after you. I'll at least send you a Twisted Wrister t-shirt. How about that? No. Let's say a Twisted Wrister hoodie. Are you not entertained? Yeah, exactly, man. It's just a Canadian team hasn't won a cup. Plenty of Canadian players have, and the cup has been throughout Canada. Yeah, but I mean, like when it's the national sport of the country, or it's lacrosse, or it's like both of them. I mean, it's like the de facto sport of Canada, right? So it's so meaningful as a population there, right? It's something that galvanizes the population. And in the States, like a gold medal in the Winter Olympics would do that, but like a Stanley Cup doesn't really do that for an American team. What's 7 of 32? What is that? About 22.5%, something like that. You know what, BT? I bet it's kind of split. I would say it's probably like 40% yes, 60% no. That's my best guess. But 2014 was the best also Minnesota sports. Yeah. Heck of a series there. Vancouver isn't? Really? I'd figure that Vancouver is. But then again, they got knocked out by Edmonton in game 7, so probably not. All of Canada is in some US states. I'm sure, yeah, like Vermont is basically Canada. Hell, I'm 2 hours south of the border. I'm much closer to Edmonton than I am Florida. And that's even Jacksonville. All right, here's Reinhart. Able to chip it down behind the Oilers' goal. First one, there's Verhaeghe, but he's stripped by Ekholm. Bumped down the ice, no icing. And now, is this going to be an icing to the Panthers? No, it's not. We're down to 3 minutes left in this period. You're so nervous, yeah. Sebastian Aho is underrated. I know, right? Sebastian Aho is a terrific player. I think he's well worth his contract. I don't think he's a top tier center in the NHL, but he could be in that next tier. And he plays penalty kill. He plays well defensively. I like him a lot. All right, at the point is Broberg. He'll skate down. Good challenge there from Sam Bennett. He'll shoot off of a shin. You're from New York and rooting for Edmonton, yeah. I think my dad even wanted the Oilers. It's funny because earlier in the playoffs he wanted the Panthers. Oh, big hit there on Janmark by Luostarinen. And from his own corner, Nurse playing it out of the zone. It'll come all the way down to the goal line, but no icing. 2 minutes left in the period. All of North Dakota and the north tip of Minnesota are going for the Oilers. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody in Panthers gear where I live. I've seen a few people in Oilers gear. Not to mention Derek Ryan is from Spokane. So I imagine that a lot of hockey fans around here want the Oilers to win. Now Janmark behind the net. And nice defensive play there from Barkov. Verhaeghe trying to advance it into the Oilers zone, but skated by the captain. Barkov hands it off. Kulikov, top of the circle, and an easy routine save for Stuart Skinner down to 1:24 left in the second period. You're from North Carolina and rooting for Florida. Oh, really? That's right. I remember that now that you're a Canes fan, or at least you're in North Carolina. I was going to say, like, and coming off of that series last year, you would think that you want the Oilers instead. But then again, the Hurricanes played the Oilers in the Stanley Cup many years ago. But still, maybe there's something there. Twin Cities would root for Edmonton. Yeah, I mean, like, I know with Minnesota, man, it's like you see a team win its first championship, and you're like, oh, good for you. If you moved to Minnesota right now, you wouldn't win one for the rest of your life. All right, so we actually have a final commercial break here. I didn't know we were getting one more. All right, so nervous. I'm so startled. Um, yeah, I mean, dude. I want my butt to be comfortable, but figuratively, I am on the edge of my seat. Most Southern states would probably be rooting for the Panthers. Yeah, I probably would think so too, especially like, like Alabama, Mississippi, right? They don't have NHL teams. Georgia doesn't have an NHL team. Pulling for Edmonton, and you're from North Carolina. Oh, that's right, Trevor. I want to see Canada get the cup. Yeah. Like I said, it's a win-win for me with, of course, Derek Ryan being local from this area. And, again, like Canada winning a Stanley Cup, right? Especially Edmonton. They've had, their community has had some horrible, untimely losses over the last few seasons with, Colby Cave and little Ben Stelter, the super fan from 2 years ago. And of course, longtime trainer Joey Moss. Georgia doesn't have a team yet. I know of some Lightning fans who actually want Florida to win. They're probably like, oh, if Florida wins, that'll be cute. They'll have one. We got three. Yeah. And Maynard, you're one of them. All right. And now skied out of the zone by the Oilers, giving chases McLeod. He'll get down to the corner, but it's icing. That's kind of unfavorable for McLeod. He was the first person there, but he's not complaining. Atlanta has failed twice. Don't bother. I mean, it depends on the ownership group, right? But would I be upset if Atlanta got a team over another city? I wouldn't say I'd be upset by any means, but I personally would like to see, give it to a different city, right? There are plenty of great potential markets out there. I think Eric Stahl's a free agent. Oh yeah, that's right. But he didn't play this last year. I think he's probably done. Eric Stahl has the second most goals from that iconic 2003 draft class. Who has the most goals in the regular season? You guys let me know if you have a guess. And if you know who it is already because of our memory stream, maybe let's see if somebody else can get it. All right, we're down to the final minute here. We're behind the Oilers net, and Bouchard comes up with the puck after what was a ferocious scrum. And Dreisaitl's offside here, so we'll get a whistle with 47.7 seconds left. An Alaskan team? Yeah, that would be incredible. Corey Perry, I think, is in the top 5, but he's not number 1. Not a bad guess, though. Not a bad guess, considering he also won a Hart Trophy. I don't think that Stahl officially retired, though. Houston, yeah. Is the NHL looking to expand again soon? Yeah, there are some active potential ownership groups, like Anson Carter is actually part of one in Atlanta. Now we have a scrum behind the Panthers net. Nugent Hopkins trying to cycle this. Good disruption there, though, as Reinhart will lead the charge the other way. He's got Verhaeghe on the wing. Nugent Hopkins, good job on the back check, tying up Barkov. Good shift. And now McDavid coming the other way, one-on-one. Nice play by Ekblad, though, to stand him up. Hyman flutters over to Bouchard, a shot, rebound. And oh boy, that almost got really interesting there. Final 10 seconds. Panthers get the clear. This puck will go down for an icing, though, with 6.2 remaining. Quebec City is still trying to get a team. Yeah. I unfortunately don't see that happening, though. As much as I would like to see an even 8 teams from Canada. I personally like 32 teams in the NHL, though. I personally like that. But you know what? If there are more teams, that's only better for my channel, I think. All right. Barkov intercepting that pass at the point as he takes a shove from Bouchard. And at the end of 2, it's the Florida Panthers 20 minutes away from their first Stanley Cup, but it's not going to come easy. Sam Reinhart with the go-ahead goal in what was a mind-blowing sequence as Dmitry Kulikov saved what would have been the go-ahead goal for the Oilers. Yeah, Char Red or Care Red. Yes, the leading goal scorer from the '03 draft class is Joe Pavelski. I think second is Eric Stahl, and then third is Jeff Carter, I want to say, and then Justin, or not Justin Williams. I can't say Jeff Carter without thinking of Justin Williams. Still scarred from the Kings Stanley Cup runs. But Zach Parise's right there, and then Corey Perry too. Natchez and Svechnikov are your favorite players of all time. Natchez is probably going to be on the move, though. He's like the biggest talk in the trade market right now as a restricted free agent. I like Natchez. He was super clutch the season prior to this one. Svechnikov, I like him too. Who do I think will win now? I mean, I said Oilers before the start of the game. So let me outline it for you. So I said at the start of this series, I said Panthers in 7. 3 games into this, I was like, okay, when the Panthers won their first game or maybe their second game, I said basically Panthers in 3. I said Oilers, though, in this game because, I mean, all the momentum was on their side. And who knows? They could come out right now and put 4 by Bobrovsky. We have no idea what to expect in this third period. I'll still say the Oilers do it going into the final 20, but you know me. I'm going for Florida. Who got traded today? Linus Ullmark is on the move from the Boston Bruins to the Ottawa Senators. And in return, the Bruins will receive Ottawa's 2025 first-round pick, in addition to Jonas Korpisalo, goaltender, for a few more years under contract. However, the Senators will consume 25% of Korpisalo's contract. And there was also a forward involved, too. No one asked for McDavid looks gassed. He looked more engaged in that period, I thought, than the first period. The ice surface sucks. Yes, and Carter Verhaeghe is so clutch. Look at that, right? He's been quiet for most of the series, and then he Carter Verhaeghe's. And he even, he ripped a couple shots on goal there in that period. I mean, dude, I'll be so freaking stoked if Bobrovsky's lifting that Stanley Cup. I think if that's the case, I know he had a couple of pretty rough games, but look at his accolades. Look at his longevity. He was regarded as an elite goaltender in the NHL. Really, when you look at the 2010s, there are very few goaltenders who people would rank higher than Sergei Bobrovsky. 2 Vezina trophies, won that crazy 2019 series for the Blue Jackets. Yes, he did have bad postseasons before then, but I do think that he's on his way to a first ballot induction to the Hall of Fame. Natchez to Vegas. Dude, they'll find a way to make it work. Unless they want to get Steven Stamkos. Did they name the new team in Utah? No, they have not. So we won't find out for a little while, but they have it narrowed down to a few finalists. Panthers type of game, it's in their advantage. They've looked more like the Panthers. They've played better in terms of just extending their zone time, right? And some of those players who have been more passive in the past couple of games look more engaged. Like top line looks like it's clicking. So thankful the tornado hasn't hit. Yeah, dude. Fingers crossed, right? Stamkos to Detroit to play for Eisenman. Wouldn't that be just bonkers, man? They have the cap space. No more Swayman and Ullmark trades, Ullmark hugs, excuse me. Any more? What do I think about that trade? I think it's a really good trade for Ottawa. I don't necessarily expect them to be a playoff team, but we'll have to. Cortana apparently wants to disagree with me. She's whimpering like, Dad, why aren't you paying attention to me? I'm sorry that I played fetch with you 3 times today, Cortana. No. I can't wait to see Bradley Nadeau. I only know the name. He's not with Carolina, is he? Carolina, in terms of a team that has been a perennial playoff team and has won, a fair share of rounds, their prospect pool is actually regarded as a fairly good one, just despite, the fact that they're competing every year for a Stanley Cup. Kurt, you hate life right now. I'm sure that's as it pertains to this game. I hope that everything else, though, outside of this game is going smoothly enough for you. Bradley Nadeau. Is he related to nah, never mind. Almost made a Shoresy joke. She was thinking, where was my goal treat? Yeah, Stamkos to Detroit. I wonder if he's going to test the open market before, he could still sign with Tampa afterwards. But I know that Brisebois is adamant about keeping him. At least that's what he said at the trade deadline. All right. Just going to do a quick PSA. I appreciate you being here. Whether you can just make it to say hello and that's it, that's fine. Or if you're hanging out with us from start to finish here. Anyway, we want to be running more live streams like this, of course, producing more video content covering the off season, and we definitely plan to do it, but to maybe even make more content for you and to do a better job of that. I am looking for people who are interested in actually enjoying some of the successes of Twisted Wrister Hockey as a investor. So you don't have to be strapped with cash. Just about anybody out there who probably has a job and is at least 18 years old can actually help with my channel and fund us to produce more and better content. There's more information about this page. Just see my pinned message at the top of this chat. But really, that's what it's all about. So for really as low as $50, you can actually earn back a small percentage of what this channel earns over a set period of time, for example, a year or 2 years. So we might be running a fundraiser later on in the off season, but right now I'm just getting a preliminary gauge as to who's interested out there in helping our channel out, helping our audience grow, and helping get us out to more social platforms and all that sort of thing. So anyway, if you want to help out or are interested in finding out more, even if you don't end up signing up, I do highly recommend checking out the channel. So then that way, or the webpage here. So then that way you have an idea of what I'm hoping to achieve in the near future. And also, if you haven't already, do check out our wonderful Twisted Wrister Hockey merch store. We've got hats, hoodies, t-shirts, dog shirts, onesies, pint glasses, coffee mugs, and our logo is recolored to every single team out there. So if you're a Hurricanes fan, if you're a Flyers fan, if you're a Mighty Ducks fan, we even recolor our logo for old school teams or teams that no longer exist, like the Whalers and Nordiques. You are most invited to check that out. Just see a link for that in the video description down below. There is something for everybody in your family. All right. And that's the end of my PSA. We'll have maybe one more PSA at the end of this stream. So thank you. Cortana, no licking. Yeah, I know, right? Good thing we don't have a microphone on her. No licking your puppy parts, Cortana. Have a treat. Kind of a dry carrot here. Trevor, hey, thanks for saying hello here. Hoping the Panthers can hold on. What a crazy sequence that was to set up the go-ahead goal, but it is anybody's game in that final 20 minutes. This is their 14th cup ever, most in the AHL for the Hershey Bears. 5-4 in overtime to get. Wow. I mean, again, all the respect to Dan Bilesma's Coachella Valley Firebirds team. I know he's moving on to the Kraken. They've done amazing work in their first couple of years, and hopefully that means promising signs for the Seattle Kraken with their youth development or their prospect development. But really, the Bears, this juggernaut of an organization, it's incredible what they've been able to achieve. Just decade in, decade out, man. Should have been the Cleveland Monsters. Ah, yes. At least they look good in those jerseys, though, or with that logo. 5-4 in overtime. That's pretty exciting, though. Kind of reminds me when we think about Game 6 in overtime. I think about about 25 years ago when the Dallas Stars won their first Stanley Cup on a goal from Brett Hull against Dominik Hasek and the Sabres. All right, is Andrea holding up okay? Hopefully, not experiencing any bad side effects from the surgery. That's right. Yeah, the Everblades, a three-peat. And Paul Maurice's son is actually the play-by-play broadcaster, right? Or he's part of the broadcast team. Oh, that's good, Trevor. I'm happy to hear that. For surgery, for me, I've had a couple surgeries. It's not the procedure itself. It's the recovery, the rehab afterwards. Just for like a fractured wrist, because I had to do actual like electroshock therapy for that, in addition to with my shoulder a couple years ago. That was a road to recovery after tearing my labrum and fracturing my bone right there. Glenoid, that's what that bone is called. I would have rather seen the Walleye or the Mavericks. Yeah, that's right. The Mavericks had a really good season. Hopefully, the San Jose Barracuda can get their butts back in the playoffs for the first time in what seems like an eternity. That's skating the goal crease. Taken away from Minnesota in 1999. Interesting. If we really, if we were to have that Stanley Cup final now, you think people in Minnesota would want to see the Stars win? I don't know. Minnesota and Buffalo, they're kind of like blood brothers, really. They're never in the same conference, but well, at least for the big pro sports. But really, those fan bases, there's too much crossover, like with what the Bills and Sabres have experienced, kind of like the Wild and especially the Vikings, if we want to compare them to the Bills. The last season that the Everblades will be the ECHL affiliate of the Panthers. That's right. Yeah. Sounds excruciatingly painful. Yeah. What's the worst like sports injury anybody's ever had? I tore my labrum from skateboarding. Cortana tore her ACL about 2 years ago. And she had surgery. I took care of all of her rehab. And yeah, she's come a long way since then. Knee replacement? Oh god, dude. Yeah, that sounds like it, man. The knee, I mean, usually as you age, the knee is your first thing to go. But I'm very fortunate that my knees have held up despite all the all the challenging hikes I take on. Minnesota and Buffalo. Exactly, man. Exactly. And 0-2 in the Stanley Cup Final. Oh yeah, because the North Stars went in what, 1980? Oh shoot, they lost to the Oilers, right? Or did they? No, they lost to the Islanders. Yeah, so the early '80s, and then 1991 against the Penguins. Commercials from the United States, and I don't know. It feels weird. Like I don't know. Yeah, we have some. One thing that people around the world will point out is that in the States we have all kinds of like medical commercials for like prescription drugs. Basically, it's really yeah, it is a little bit odd. You played football. Oh, okay, well that takes a toll on the body. Rotator cuff. Oh my god, man, that says it all right there. I'm very fortunate that I only strained my rotator cuff, but my best friend, he tore his not through baseball, but he was like that was at least like a 9-month recovery for him. Trampled by a horse. Oh my god, unbelievable. Oh god, PT for 5 months and a concussion. Yeah, my I fractured my wrist from skateboarding. Um, I've had some other injuries from that too. A couple of bruised tailbones. That's never fun. What do I think about Boston trading for Olmark or trading Olmark away to the Senators? I think that's a good move for them. They always have good goaltenders in net, no matter who it is. And I like that they don't have to pay Korpisalo's entire contract. They get a first rounder as part of it too. I think that though Ottawa really does make out well from this. I think goaltending was one like their biggest pain point to address. So do they make the playoffs next year? I'm not so sure. I don't even know who their head coach is right now, honestly. Um, and that division is still very tough, especially with teams like the Canadiens, Red Wings, and hopefully the Sabres getting better. But I mean, that's a step in the right direction for the Senators. Olmark should still have some good years ahead of him. That Kulikov pass will be your favorite highlight. Yeah, and a saved goal. Unbelievable. Dude fell into the net. So did Kulikov actually get an assist? I think Kulikov should get the key to the city of Sunrise if they win. In all honesty, he probably should. So wait, did Kulikov get an assist? Yeah, he got a secondary assist on that go-ahead goal. That's kick ass. I got to get ready for work. Oh man. Oh dude. I'll pop in when able. Oh man. All right. Well, I hope that you're able to sneak away and somehow find a way to watch the rest of this. When you were being born, you tore your shoulder on the way out. Oof. Got your two legs lost your two legs when you slid in mud. Oh God. Really? Wow. You haven't had any injuries yet. That's good, Bruin. Careful with that parkour out there. Every time I hear parkour, it's the only. I never really watched The Office, but like every now and then I'll watch that scene because it was pretty funny. Nate DeGreat, what's up? Still miss the Red Wings dynasty. Hopefully they can get to the playoffs soon. Yeah, I know, man. Like between them and the Sabres, especially, not to mention the Senators, that's one of the teams I've followed the least, if at all, really, in during the life span of my channel. I do remember those good old days though of the Senators from the late '90s, especially the aughts as well. They were so fun to watch, especially in hindsight, with just the fact that they had several Hall of Famers on that team or near Hall of Famers. So yeah, the Red Wings though, it's time, dude. It's been way too long, and same thing for Buffalo. What's taking the Ducks so long to release their logo? I know, right? I have kind of a similar sentiment. I don't know. They're getting their storefront ready, hoping for Edmonton to win. First ever prediction bracket you've done, and you have the Oilers winning it all. Only things you've gotten wrong were the Jets winning round 1 and the Rangers winning round 3. Really? Wow. That's a hell of a job. My bracket was terrible because I had the Jets winning it all over the Lightning. But really, after the Panthers beat the Lightning, because I thought that was their kryptonite, and then I was like, okay, Panthers probably win the Stanley Cup. Oilers, I had them losing in the second round in my bracket to the Canucks. Yeah, they went to Game 7. The Red Wings were 1 point away from a playoff spot. Really? Wait. Who was the second wild card? Second wild card was Washington. That's right. Travis Green. Oh, yeah, Travis Green. Actually, former Spokane Chiefs coach nearby here. Travis Green. Or at least he was a play. I think he coached. I don't know. He was part of the organization. How about that? You cut your head open on a skate blade. Oh, God. Oh, my God, man. That's horrific. I don't think I've ever had like a bad cut. Not so much. At least not that I remember. Might have happened at a college party or something like that. PWHO. What jersey am I wearing tonight? Oilers or Panthers? I'm just wearing a shirt because it's a little bit warm in here. I've got, of course, the Colby Cave behind me here. But should the Panthers hoist the Stanley Cup, should the Oilers hoist the Stanley Cup, I'll wear a jersey for whichever team wins. I'll put a jersey on. How about that? Just make sure. Just make sure that you remind me. What can the Stars do to improve next year? That's a great question. I mean, some people would just say outright fire Peter DeBoer because he only takes you so far. But he's still done a pretty good job. I mean, really, for the Stars, they're in good shape to stay competitive. I'd like to see them maybe get a different. Wedgwood's not like an atrocious backup goaltender. I'd like to see like Ottinger have a little bit less work to do in the regular season, personally. And just lineup wise, they've got their guys. But the thing is, now they are getting a little bit older in some positions, right? So I don't have a direct answer for them. I like their window of opportunity here, but we're back to the third. I got to get back on it. All right, final 20 minutes, unless we go to overtime. And now Barkov will take this from behind the net. Oh boy, almost a chance there for Verhaeghe. Or Losterinen, I should say. Now Ekman Larson, a shot that gets blocked by Connor Brown. He'll break his stick. Now out at the point for Ekman Larson. Tarasenko. Oh, and a wraparound attempt. Skinner got a piece of it. Fluttered ahead for Janmark, the goal scorer for the Oilers. Forsling able to move it ahead, but not quite into the Oilers zone. So we got a loose puck in the neutral zone here. Reinhart. Verhaeghe able to get it into the Oilers zone as the Panthers will get the change. As the first minute goes by in the final period of regulation. McDavid touching that along for Hyman. Nice disruption there from Forsling. Out at the point, Bouchard. Oh, and good tie up in front of the net there by Ekblad, excuse me. Chance at the circle for Ekholm at the dot. Moving it into the slot, but a little miscommunication there. Skated ahead by Carter Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe. And now Ekholm from behind his net. Oilers get the clear. A bouncing puck as Tkachuk takes a spill into the boards. Boards? It's funny how I said that word. Tkachuk now, as the Oilers getting a change. This might be an opportunity. Here's Bennett. He shoots and just past the net. Good hustle by the Oilers defenseman to converge on him. Now Draisaitl. Ceci. Sent around the Panthers net. Jumping in is Fogel. McFogel. How about that? Nice strip of Montour there. Ceci jumping into the play. Out of the point. Trying to keep that in is Holloway. Mikkola chips it out. Glove down at center ice by Kulak. Oilers trying to regain the zone. Draisaitl there, but they'll actually get a change. Now a chance in front. Oh, Perry. Nice knockaway there from Brandon Montour. And now Okposo giving chase as Nurse will fetch this and hand it off in the corner. But Lomberg there. Say hello to Lomberg for me. For anybody who gets that reference. This puck cleared down by the Oilers. As Ekman-Larsson. Stretch pass ahead. He's got Luostarinen on the wing. Taken down by Ekholm. And Ryan will go to the ice. From the point goes Ekblad, but now he's stripped. Hyman trying to get it deep. But the Panthers are in position. And now we're actually going to get a penalty to the Oilers here. Yeah, Char Red. Yeah, you're correct. Good job. Panthers are going to win because Russian machine never breaks. So, yeah, we've got a power play for the Panthers as it's going to be a high sticking call to, is that McDavid or I think they're just explaining the penalty to him. Just a minor penalty, says the official, as Bouchard is in the box. But the Panthers were able to score a power play influence goal in the first period. That looks like a clear call. As Luostarinen was the one drawing that penalty. He's a little bit cut on the nose there, but not from the stick. So we get a face-off here. Barkov against Ryan. Controlled by the Cats. Tarasenko moved up to that top power play. One-timer and Skinner in position there. Able to make that save as Reinhart was breathing down his neck. We'll get a face-off in just a moment here. All right, cleared down by the Oilers. Oilers have killed 47 of the last 48 penalties, and they're clicking still at a 94% penalty kill. That is just unheard of after a long, long season. Cats have this behind the net. Nugent Hopkins sends it over to Henrique, and it's cleared down with the first third of the power play gone. Ekman-Larsson. And now with time, here's Verhaeghe from center ice. Around the net. On the wing, Lindell. Loose puck. Oilers, can they get something going the other way? Here's Connor Brown. Into the zone. Janmark looking for Connor Brown, and that goes just into the crease and wide. Two of those players have come up big for the Oilers at points in this series. Now Rodriguez the other way. Around the net, he's got Lindell. To the corner where Rodriguez is. A back pass off the boards. Top of the circle, a shot. And it rims around to Carter Verhaeghe. Down low. Panthers taking their time with 30 seconds left. A shot and missing the net there. But this puck is kept in by Ekblad at the point. Lundell. And now floated along to the point. Seam pass, Ekblad fans on the one-timer. The Panthers holding on to this. 10 seconds left on this power play. And a chance in front. Oh, and robbing Bennett was Skinner, and he'll cover up. Why do people hate hockey teams in hot places? Some of the hockey fans talk about that teams are in hot places that they don't belong in the NHL. Then why are people allowed to expand the sport? Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an answer because I don't have any animosity for hockey being in hot places. I'm from California, though. It's like it's not 1923 anymore. It's like technology has enabled us to enjoy this game anywhere, not just on this continent, but anywhere in the world. Like I know somebody who played a hockey tournament in Thailand. There are ice hockey programs in Singapore. Kenya has a national hockey program. Are you going to tell any of those places that they can't play the game? That's all. That's where I'll leave it. Now Barkov, as Bouchard comes out of the box. Nice job supporting that play, Nugent Hopkins, as the Oilers are able to get the clear. Comes down the length of the ice. Thailand, yes, you are correct. All right. All right, 14-15 left here in regulation. This is nerve-wracking. Absolutely. Go blue. Michigan blue. Sure. As long as it's not Dodgers blue. What is that thing lying on the ground? Are you talking about my dog? Here, let's have her say hello. Hey, Cortana. You want to say hi? There you go. All right. Draisaitl. Ooh, nice back check there from from Tkachuk. Bennett in the zone. And stumbling to the ice there was Bennett. I think that was just an incidental trip. Bennett's got it behind the net. Nice play from Draisaitl. And the Oilers will come the other way. Leon on the wing, trying to get around Forsling. He gets taken down. No call. And this puck trickles out of the zone, and Ekholm will take his time regrouping here. Cortana's a girl. Cortana, girl. No licking your puppy parts, kiddo. McDavid, and a nice back check there. Lois Arena from center ice, but that was gloved down on the back check by the Oilers. They'll send it down behind the net. Who do I want to win? I want the Panthers to win, but I've been telling people that really it's a win-win for me, because if the Oilers win, then the Stanley Cup will have it stay in Spokane because Derek Ryan is from here. All right. Gaining the zone there was Fogle, and Bobrovsky, an easy glove save, and he'll cover up with 12:52 remaining here. And we'll go to a commercial break. I won't personally, but the broadcast will, of course. Anxious while watching this in your Wild jersey with your North Stars blanket and a Nordy plush. Yeah. I mean, like, my palms are sweating. But there's not vomit on my sweater already. Oh, Cortana. Hockey expanding is always good. It's better than NFL, NBA, and MLB. Sure. My dog's name is Cortana. Plans for the offseason? Well, I'm going to start my offseason with a few days in Montana for July 4th. So that's going to be awesome. And then I'm back to it, man. Just working, man. We'll probably have some more historical content because, there's less news. But actually, I like that. I like being able to, take my time on video productions. I don't know if it's worse to wish for overtime. Oh, nah, that's even more heartbreaking. This game has been amazing. It's the first time you've listened to me and watched the game simultaneously. No, no, no. Tu inglés es muy bien. Yo pienso. Um, have I tried doing other sports? I had another channel that was sports history, but it was really hit or miss with my views. I had a good time making those videos though, but I'm not really doing that anymore. Do I like soccer? Not that much. I mean, I played 10 years. Um, so I think it's fun to play, but like watching it on TV, I'm not really a fan of that. But if I travel somewhere, let's say, if I go to Brazil, if I go to Italy, I want to go see soccer there. Like I've seen an Italian soccer match. Like I like the culture of that of being there. I'm not watching the years. Yeah, not really, but go Denmark. Um, I spent a semester there in college, and Bobrovsky saving that shot off Bouchard from the point. You're from Omaha. Omaha. I think somewhere in Wisconsin they should have an NHL team. That's fair. Madison is apparently I think the coldest city in the contiguous United States with a population of at least 200,000 people. Third, I think, is Minneapolis, and fourth is Spokane. Um, yeah, Spanish Premier League or English. Oh, I wouldn't know, man. I don't follow it enough. All right, so Hyman gets a little bit held up by Ekblad behind the net. Hey, just chill, okay? All right, Oilers able to get this into the Panthers zone. Sorry, I've been talking for a couple hours straight here. And now Bennett trying to get the clear. It goes into the bench though. U.S. National soccer teams are pretty great considering the country doesn't really care. I don't know, man. We have what 330,000 or 330,000. That's Iceland. We have like 330 million people here, and like we can barely make it out of the group stage in the World Cup. I don't know. Oh well, whatever. USA is pretty good at some other sports. If the Panthers win, you get 100 rupees. Good luck to you. Yeah, so I'm not really watching the Euros. But like, will I watch the World Cup if nothing else is happening? Yeah, maybe. I used to work. For anybody who doesn't know, I worked for the Chicago Fire in Major League Soccer for a season many years ago. And I was also an intern with the San Jose Earthquakes because I went to college like right there. All right, Broberg trying to backhand this from behind the Panthers net. Broberg's going to have to chase this down. No, it's going to go for icing with 11:38 remaining. Yeah, Riley, if you ever get a match in Spokane, let me know. Last World Cup final was amazing. Oh God, I don't even remember. Oh no, was that Argentina? And I can't remember who they beat though. Did they play France? I think that's what it was, right? Will I get a Macklin jersey? I would love to get a Macklin jersey. I got to know which number he's going to wear though. 17, 71, or something else. Here comes Draisaitl deking around the net. Bringing it out to the point for Bouchard. A shot from Ekholm, and that trickled near Bobrovsky at least as it went off somebody in front. And another chance, and blocked by Mikkola. Skated out by Luostarinen. Panthers changing up. He'll dump it in deep. But no, I don't gamble. All right, here comes Draisaitl again. Looking for somebody in front. Bennett collecting the puck. Rodriguez. Messi versus France. Yeah, right. Everyone. Minnesota UFC or UFC. Minnesota United FC. The Loons. That's right. So yeah, Draisaitl had a long shift there. A couple of opportunities. Face off in the neutral zone controlled by Edmonton. We're down to 10:45 in the period. cleared by Evan Rodriguez, but this is going to go down for icing. Everyone's watching the Cup. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Macklin jersey would be pretty sweet. I still want to buy. Well, I don't actually have an Adidas home jersey for what the Sharks currently wear, and I don't have the Califin. In the offseason, it'd be cool to get something like that, but I just don't have. I don't have a jersey budget these days. I'd have to probably sell some more jerseys. All right, Nugent Hopkins, and off the faceoff, it's controlled. Well, in the corner, Ekblad goes down. It's probably in his crotch. Nugent Hopkins, and along the wall, Kachuk trying to pry this out of the zone. Kept in by the Oilers. And fanning on that was Forsling as it's scooped up by Kulak. In the corner, Nugent Hopkins battling Ekblad. Double team now. And the Panthers able to get the clear as we're halfway through this period. No puppy parts. Oh, that she's just licking her leg there. This game is crazy. It's intense, dude. All right, in the neutral zone, Oilers able to regain possession, but this is going to scoot all the way down into the corner as Nurse will take his time. Hey, good girl. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of Game 7 here. If you are, please do smash that like button. It does help the channel. And subscribe if you're new here and want more of this and coverage of the offseason. We just put out a video on Macklin Celebrini. And we'll also have a draft reaction on Friday. We'll be live for the whole first round and even just a little bit before then. The Panthers have iced the puck with 9:13 remaining. Are the refs going to swallow the whistle the rest of the game? I think that would make sense. They've largely done that. You know, the high stick, they had to call that, right? But maybe there's something that was not called in favor of the Oilers that I've missed. Bouchard playing catch with Ekholm at the point. A pass for Draisaitl, working it back over to Ekholm. A shot and into the skate of Reinhart. He'll come the other way as there's a collision. A couple of players went down. Reinhart trying to deke around Bouchard. He comes in. Sam Reinhart, the backhand, and he can't quite get a shot off. Boy, oh boy, that was interesting. And now he gets absolutely upended. No call. Don't think there was anything flagrant there. And now chipped in by the Oilers as they'll get a change. And Cortana getting the channel demonetized. That's funny. All right. Oilers able to chip this out of their zone. But the first one on it is, I think that was Stenlund or Montour. Cece. And now Kulak steering that. Not quite clear, though. Nice job by, I can't see who that was for the Panthers, but a really good job sealing that off at the top of the zone. Under 8 to play. Shots are 19-17 in favor of the Panthers. Sent all the way down to Bobrovsky. He'll cover this up with 7:51 left. There's a dog sitting right by the glass in the arena. I wonder if that's a service dog. Got to get Cortana a credential or something. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, Bouchard had to, disrupt that chance that Reinhart almost had there after kind of deking him out of his skates. Lundell and Draisaitl in the Panthers zone. Panthers control this. They send it the length of the ice, but this will go for icing as Lois Arenen couldn't quite get positioning over Bouchard. CC and Perry about to have perfect records. I after the fans throw rats on the ice after the game. I'm sure that those would get cleared off the ice, Nick. You know, maybe they'll kind of converge at I don't know. Maybe like we'll have to see what happens, obviously, but I'm sure that the event game ops is probably aware of that. All right, Ekholm off the faceoff, around the horn, and McDavid trying to shake Montour, and Montour just calmly knocks that puck away out of the zone. McDavid trying to center that, and that's in the skate of Bennett. Draisaitl, though, off the loose puck, taking it to the net, a chance in front, and a good tie-up by the Florida defense. It's still alive, though. Bouchard a shot, and off Bobrovsky, a pad save. He lost track of that for a second there. A one-timer, Bobrovsky, big pad save. Karam's right out to Bouchard. Another chance in front, down low, big pad save, Bobrovsky, loose puck, and the puck might be in the net now, but the officials have blown the whistle. Unreal. If Bobrovsky got a skate on that last shot, holy crap. We're going to go to a commercial break, but let's take a look at this replay here as Bobrovsky robbed Bouchard off the one-timer. And then McDavid has Bobrovsky dead to rights. And Forsling's able to at least get like not a stick on the puck so much, but able to kind of knock McDavid off his balance. Man, unreal. I'm stunned that somehow did not go in. Anybody else? Yeah, Gonzalo, that was crazy, dude. That was really, really close. Harsh. Indeed. Heinous. Most non-triumphant if you're an Oilers fan. Bobrovsky says no. You're back on the case, Bobrovsky. Just a few more minutes. Panthers hold the lead. Yeah, I know. But this could, to them, this might feel like it's a 3-hour, last 5 minutes for them. Yeah, it's some bad puck luck. The closer it is, the more it hurts. Yeah, you're probably right, man. At least when my Sharks went to the Stanley Cup Final and lost, I knew they were going to lose after that second game. Become 2011 Vancouver. Oh, please no, please no. If you're anywhere near Edmonton, be safe, please. If you're anywhere near Florida and they lose, be safe, please. Just be safe, period, everybody. Celebrate responsibly. And yeah, Christine, anything can happen. Anything can happen, exactly. Sort of feel bad about that Bobrovsky wouldn't get the Conn Smythe. Yeah, I don't think that he would at this point, unfortunately. But that's okay. He's not here for the Conn Smythe trophy. Hey, there's Phil Pritchard with the Stanley Cup right now. I got a picture with him a couple years ago. Can you lie down, please? Please. That Bobrovsky didn't get. Yeah. All right, off the faceoff, Oilers control it. Bouchard moves it over to Ekholm. Looking for somebody in the corner. McDavid's there. Looking for somebody in front. Oh, a nice stick lift there from Reinhart. And now Barkov able to skate it clear, but only for a brief moment. The Oilers are offside, though, with 6:43 remaining. The holder of the cup. Yes. Here, have another treat, Cortana. Apart from licking your puppy parts, you've been very, very good. Empty net goal, please put this game to bed. Yeah, some people are going to have to go to bed after this, as it's now 10:39 on the East Coast of the States, at least. Atlantic Canada, I can't help you there. All right, face off center ice, Oilers control. Slapped in by McLeod. When would you pull the goaltender? 3.5 minutes at the most aggressive, I think. This is so intense. Yes. At 4 minutes, a little aggressive for being down just one goal. But I wouldn't wait much longer. 8:40 for you. Seven was that 7:40 for me? Yeah, just about. Oilers able to send this around the Panthers net. And Fogel trying to keep this alive. It comes off the sideboards, kept in the zone briefly, but the Oilers would have been offside. Bennett sends it ahead for Rodriguez. Down behind the net, Broberg and Draisaitl there, or Nurse there, excuse me. Still in the same spot. Rodriguez is down on the ice right now, and he's basically just putting his body over the puck, but we get a whistle. We're down to 5:54. Oilers shouldn't have made it this far. Who in your mind should have been the Western Conference champion? Oh boy, another commercial break, but hey, we're down to under 6 minutes now. So hang tight, guys. Yeah. Ready to do some research to see if there are any Panthers from North Dakota. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. Rodriguez is Latino or something. Well, I know he's from the States, but he could be. Rodriguez is probably one of the most common Latin American names um, that you will find in the United States, like Rodriguez, Garcia, Sanchez. Yeah, Lopez. Yeah, Lopez is another very common one. Rodriguez's father is of Portuguese descent. Yeah. Cortana looks hungry. Someone sent her a super chat. I know. I'm feeding her. Boo boo. Could you not lick your puppy parts on screen here? This is a PG family friendly stream. You've been rolling around in the grass too much, Cortana. All right, here we are. 5:50 remaining. Oilers control on the draw. All right, Kulikov. Trying to. Oh, here we go. Tarasenko, a shot and saved and gloved by Skinner. Oh, Cortana. Tennessee just won the College World Series. All right, go Vols. Goalie pull soon. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen until we get down to about. I don't know. I said I'd do it around like 3:30, if not. Yeah, probably about 3:30. I mean, it's very tough to generate shots in this game, so I get it. It's 21-20. Cortana looks tired. Yep, because I already played fetch with her 3 times today, outside too. So she's actually running, and that's the idea. I try to tire her out as best as I can, so then that way she's a good girl during my stream here. Plus, Cortana is actually 10 years old, but she's very youthful. Right, girl? All right, here we go. 5:25 now. We get a face off in the Panthers zone, or excuse me, in the Oilers zone between Barkov and McDavid, the two captains. Controlled by Barkov. Forsling down low. He's got Barkov battling against Ekholm. Verhage there in support, but Ekholm able to scoot that puck free. And Draisaitl, nifty little backhander. Oilers are actually offside, though. Down to 5-10, by the way. We'll do this one more time in the Panthers or in the Oilers zone. Sorry, been talking for the last 2.5 hours nonstop. 3 hours, actually. Verhaeghe now in the corner. Reinhart there to support. Ekholm gives Verhaeghe a bit of a shove. And he comes up with this puck. Verhaeghe trying to make things a living hell for him. And he actually comes up with the puck. Gives it over to Barkov. Back down low for Verhaeghe behind the net. And now Bouchard trying to pry it free. Draisaitl collides after a shot from Reinhart and a save by Skinner off of Barkov. We're down to 4:35 now, guys. Mom, is that you? Verhaeghe, by the way, 11 goals in this postseason. Bennett in the circle against Henrique. Rodriguez battling Bouchard. 5 bodies in the corner here. Panthers trying to cycle this behind the net. Foegele jumping on it. Gives it ahead to Broberg. Center ice. He'll chip it all the way down behind Bobrovsky. Nurse, a pat save there by Bobrovsky. Skated out by Rodriguez, and now Nurse from center ice will retreat. And my friends, we are now down to 4 minutes. Mikkola. And Foegele able to find the point. He's got Nurse there. Fake shot. Hanging on to it. A shot. Some traffic in front of the net. Down goes Bobrovsky. Here's a chance at this high slot. And it doesn't get through. Bobrovsky's still down. And he doesn't have his stick. It's kept in at the point for Nurse. Stripped was Foegele. And the Panthers get the clear. This will be an icing, though, with 3:29 remaining. Oh, my God. That was... Oh, God dang. Bobrovsky was down on the ice for like what seemed like an eternity as Lundell had knocked into him after battling for position there with Nugent Hopkins. Florida deserves to lose for singing Bon Jovi. Name one fan base that wouldn't want to sing along to Bon Jovi. McDavid off the faceoff, out to the point. Bouchard, high off the glass, and into the netting with 3:22 left. Oilers had a prime chance, exactly. 2 prime chances, really, with how that play was extended. Bobrovsky is your MVP. I'm sorry, McDavid. He's been incredible. Tonight he has. I just don't know if maybe MVP of this game. Although Reinhart, offensively and defensively, has had an excellent game. A shot from the point into the body of looked like Reinhart and kept it at the point. One-timer, and that... Oh, well, I thought that was the post, but Bobrovsky was there. Verhaeghe coming the other way. Down to 3 minutes. Skinner is still in his net. McDavid now at center ice. Draisaitl. Draisaitl behind the Panthers net. Oh, shoot. And my freaking video feed cuts out at that exact moment. What the heck, man? Come on. Oh, this internet at this apartment. I don't know why they changed ISPs. This one's worse. Behind the net, they still have it. Bouchard at the top of the circle and blocked by Barkov. Draisaitl hanging on to it. Back to the point where Bouchard is. We're down to 2:20. Here's McDavid in the corner. Centers it. Oh, and Bobrovsky, huge stop. Still alive, though. Panthers able to lift this clear. Skinner is still in his net. Not an icing. We are down to 2 minutes. Bumped ahead. Oilers gain the zone. Goes behind the net where mkay is. Sends it up ice. Here comes Tkachuk. Dumps it down. Skinner's still in the net. Couple of bodies go down there at the half wall. Storming ahead is Warren Foegele. Hands it off, and the Oilers are offside. We're down to $1.35, and Skinner is still in his net. Holy God. Good girl. Corton is just like, hey, Dad, when's this going to be over? Well, 6 teams will have never won the Stanley Cup. No, I think it's more than that, right? Sharks, Wild, Canucks, Sabres, Senators, Jets, Predators, Blue Jackets. Yeah, they're like 10 teams still, I think. 9 or 10. Down to 135. Did the Oilers call their timeout? I didn't catch that, but maybe they did. Good girl. All right. This is going to be in the neutral zone. Draisaitl. And the Oilers, for a split second, had that controlled, slapped in by Bouchard around the net. Glove down in the neutral zone by Ekholm. But a loose puck. Gathered by Losterinen. Here come the Panthers. Skinner still in the net. Reinhart gets stripped by Draisaitl. And Skinner now charging out of the net with $1.10 remaining. It's do or die for Edmonton. And a turnover. Panthers nearly had a chance at the empty net. Here comes McDavid, and he looked like he was just running out of gas. Panthers able to clear it down. No icing. We're down to 50 seconds. Bouchard. Down behind Bobrovsky. Here's Ekblad. Sealed off by Draisaitl, but right there is one of the Panthers. Rodriguez trying to get around Bouchard. A bouncing puck. He's coming in toward the net, and he nearly had it in the empty net. He's still hanging on to it. A one-timer from Tkachuk. It gets blocked. Down to 25 seconds. Empty net chance there from Rodriguez. It went behind the net. We're down to 20. Bouchard's got it behind his own net. They send it down the ice. Into the corner. We're 10 seconds left. Just a jam in the corner. Down to 3 seconds. 2, 1. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. The Panthers are the champions of the NHL for the first time in franchise history. Yes! I know some people will be bouncing out. It's been my absolute pleasure having you here. I'm gonna stay alive here. I understand if you have to go, but before you do, please do leave a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. They did it. They did it, man. I hate seeing the broken hearts of Oilers players. They had a terrific season. They finally proved that they could take their game to the next level with Chris Knobloch at the helm. And I'm sure that Connor McDavid will do everything in his power to get his team back to this point and persevere. McDavid's pissed off. How else? How else should he react? They'll have a handshake, though, of course. Paul Maurice, yeah, starting as an NHL coach at the age of 28 in the mid 90s, is now a Stanley Cup champion. Sergei Bobrovsky, two-time Vezina Trophy winner, known as a perennial letdown in the playoffs, took the team on his back to the Cup last year, is now a Stanley Cup champion. Alexander Barkov comes to center ice with Connor McDavid, and the handshakes begin. All right, thanks, Bruin. Got to see Tree's laughter at Edmonton. Oh, let's go. You were rooting for the Panthers. All right, awesome. Hey, what's up, Mike? Emperor King, that's right, man. Congrats. Congratulations. I got to put on my Cats jersey, guys. They're the champions. Just, where's my Red Panthers jersey? I think it's in the closet. One sec. Who will win the Conn Smythe? Could it still go to McDavid? He didn't have any points, I don't think, in the last two games, so that kind of hurts him. So it still might go to it could go to Barkov. I'm thinking it goes to Barkov, but if it doesn't, it will go to McDavid, I would think. For Fluffy, exactly, Derek. For Fluffy, for Fluffy, for Jaws, for Matthias, and for Kyle, and for that Panthers community on Flying Fluffy Hockey. I cannot imagine what's going on in their heads right now, but I cannot wait to at least go back and watch their stream. Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. President's Trophy in 2022. They get humbled by the Lightning. Kachuk gets the cup. First time in their family with the legacy that his father left behind. Kyle Okposo, 35-year-old veteran, playing much of his career with subpar teams. Aaron Ekblad and Barkov being a part of this organization for over a decade. Carter Verhaeghe wakes up and, after being the hero in the first round last year against the record-setting Bruins, gets things started for Florida here. And Sam Reinhart, I thought, was the best player on the ice tonight. Barkov right there, too. But Sam Reinhart had a hell of a game, and so did Sergei Bobrovsky, too. Those are my 3 stars. Where did they pull the goalie so late? Yeah, I do have to agree with you there. Feel for McDavid, but so happy for Florida. Yep, that's exactly it, man. That was an intense game, but so enjoyable. It was a battle for space out there. You know, all the players were just constantly tied up. The net front battle was incredible at the Panthers end of things. And unfortunately, yes, the drought continues for Canadian hockey teams. But Kachuk says it's not a dream anymore; it's a reality. Oh man, I wonder. I think I gotta at least go here on YouTube. I gotta go to the stream. Fluffy. I'm just leaving a message for Jaws. Wow. Oh boy. Wow. Oh my God. Tree is just consoling the Oilers fan on the stream. Yeah, man. It's it's so tough, man. Like seeing your team lose two game sevens in your lifetime, you know? So like I feel for that fan. I feel for the fans, you know. I'm happy, of course, but it sucks that it has to come at the expense of, another team, another fan base, right? Congrats on one hell of a team. Exactly, man. Hell of an arc and a redemption arc, as you were saying earlier. I want the Canucks to win next. Who knows? They might have the best chance of any Canadian team. They could. Are coming once Parise and Suter contracts are bought out or are finished with the buyouts. Yeah. Hey, they have some good young players, man. Rossi, Wallstedt. But who knows? Maybe they'll meet my Sharks in the conference final in 2029. I don't know. Oh wait, I thought did they say that Bobrovsky won the Conn Smythe? Well, they're gonna go to a commercial, but then we'll come back and we'll see the trophy presentation. There's nothing else in sports like the glove toss when a team wins. Yeah, it's more than just champagne baths. Unbelievable, dude. They did it. I can't remember if Jaws had texted me. Oh wow. Yeah. Somebody texted me and says, "Now it's your vacation time." I'm like, "No, not quite." Doesn't look. Oh, PK. Yeah, my bad. They're singing "We Are the Champions" on Flying Fluffy Hockey. Man, they finally did it, man. Favorite team is the Blues. So your favorite moment will always be 2019. Yeah, man. Unbelievable run that was too. Um, so weird how I called that they would win the cup that year before the season started. Thanks for the stream. You're so happy. Always love it here. Thank you, man. And thanks for hanging out with us. As I don't want to say nonpartisan, but uh, as a I guess Sharks fan first, of course. But yeah, it's been my pleasure being live to watch this and interact to the madness with you guys, man. And with the Panthers, your overall record is 2-10 since you started watching. Oh, in terms of the teams that you have cheered for, that sucks, man. That sucks. Yeah, we gotta see. We gotta stay till the cup gets awarded, right, and gets passed around. We got to be live for that. I know some people are passing. That's cool. Hockey belongs where it's hot. I'm not going to say that you're wrong because, yep, it just needs to make its way. The cup just needs to make its way around the different teams. In the Sun Belt. Thank you, Panthers, for not choking. That would have been one for the ages. And the Oilers. You got to credit the Oilers just for battling back, right? I mean, they persevered, right? When this season looked all lost for them. I know it was early on, but their odds of just making the playoffs at that point were so low. Great game. Is it October? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Seeing Jaws' reaction was amazing. Oh, dude, I can't wait. It's been quite. Thought the Oilers were going to get swept. I mean, it looked like it, right? 2 games into it, it really looks like it. It's been a hell of a season, a hell of a story for Florida. Can you say what order the cup gets passed around? Yeah, I can definitely keep you posted on that. Okposo would be third. Okay, it'll go Barkov, and then I think probably Ekblad because he's been there almost just as long. I think Bobrovsky would probably get it then, and then maybe Okposo. So Okposo could be like fourth. USA. Such an intense game. Yeah, I know it didn't have like the scoring. It didn't have nearly as many shots on goal, but there were scrambles, and really it was just about two players in a single moment trying to keep a possession alive to tire out the other team. It was really that kind of battle. You have to appreciate that. We have such a different flavor of hockey in the regular season, but this really epitomized what the postseason is all about. Barkov will get it first. Well, yeah, because he's the captain, right? So, of course. All right. Conn Smythe. Flipped over to Jaws and Kyle was pure raw joy. Love it, man. Winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy. Gary Bettman talking. Just remember, Florida is my second favorite. Third favorite after Carolina led the playoffs in scoring. Oh, the fans are not happy about that. It's going to go to McDavid. I mean, it's hard. I know he didn't get a point in the last two games, but it's hard to argue against him when he kind of put the team on his back to get to the final and stay alive in the final. So will McDavid actually be out there to accept it? And congrats to McDavid. I mean, look at that. A Conn Smythe Trophy. Even if you don't win a Stanley Cup, to have won that trophy, in addition to all the other accolades he's had over his career, you still got to say, like, he is just continues to make progress to a level of greatness that very, very, very few players have achieved. At least one trophy is going back to Canada. Yeah, I mean, first time it's been awarded to a member of the losing team since Jaguar in 2003. It's very rare that happens. Should have gone to Couture in 2016. Looking forward to the draft and offseason coverage. I hope you and chat enjoy your night. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us, man. My only hope is that next year it's the Carolina Hurricanes doing it. I don't think McDavid's actually out there to receive the trophy. At least I didn't see them cut away to him. So now we get to the real thing. And they're bringing out the cup. Phil Pritchard and I don't know who the other guy is. Dude. Well, the cup won't come to Spokane, but it's going where it needs to be. Etched into history forever. Absolutely. Who determines who gets the Conn Smythe? Actually, you know what? I don't know that. Oh, gosh. McDavid has to wait at least one more year. I mean, he did everything he could. You think Skinner, you'd put some accountability on him? That second goal was not pretty. But he did elevate his game in this final. Especially to keep his team in it. Game 6, he looked really good. Yeah, Bettman's just, speaking in front of everybody right now, thanking or giving credit to the Panthers organization. The second goal wasn't pretty. That's why he was. All right. Bettman's saying it's the hardest trophy to win in sports, and can't really dispute that. Good girl. Wait, it's the first time a Finnish captain has won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I didn't know that. Here comes Barkov. He's got to take the picture with Bettman. Let's see the cup raise. He's just itching to get out there. And here he comes. Oh my God, the camera totally missed him. Oh my God. There he is, kissing the cup. All right. Or as they say in Finland, paljon onnea, which means congratulations. 7th European-born captain to win the Stanley Cup. Good girl. And now, who will he pass it to? I think it's going to be Ekblad. Nope, it's going right to Bob. I'm stoked for him, man. My eyes are watering, dude. I've always loved Bobrovsky, and he proved that he's back on the case for good. Man. Now, will it be Ekblad? It is. Oh, no, it's Okposo. You're right. Whoever said that, it is third. Okposo. So it really, they're going by age. Wow. Oh, he's basking in it. Florida got 2 cups. Yeah, considering the ECHL team. Yeah. And now, will this be... It'll be Ekman Larson, okay, because he's in his 30s as well. And he like Okposo, he played on a lot of subpar teams, right? And who's next? Is that going to be Dmitry Kulikov? So yeah, they're going by experience. And Dmitry Kulikov, who's played on, I think they said 8 NHL teams. And who's going to get it next? Here's Ekblad. I thought he was going to get it after Barkov. And the number 1 overall pick in 2014. Yeah, he's having a nice long lap with this one. I'm sure he's looking at a lot of people in the stands that he knows. Boy, ESPN's audio keeps cutting out. That's not good. Is that Sam Reinhart? The only thing that Sam Reinhart is going to be holding higher is his contract. The winning goal in this Stanley Cup. And a terrific game all around for Reinhart. He was all over the puck tonight. His defense looked really good too. Way to go, Sam. Another guy who played for a team that was pretty piss poor for a while in the Sabres. And now, who's got it now? Bennett? Just one of the many players that Zito swung a trade for. Yeah, so Patrick, I think it's because they're going with players by age. And now here's Tkachuk. And we know Tkachuk is especially amped to... there's Brady. Exactly. He's probably looking at him right now. Wow, they said that today was probably the least nervous they've been in the last week and a half. That's what Okposo just said. Tkachuk will now hand this off to Tarasenko, 2-time Stanley Cup champion now. Tarasenko, of course, being acquired at the trade deadline. And really solidifying that third line for the Panthers. Man, Verhaeghe hasn't touched it yet. All right, Riley. Thanks for hanging out with us all evening, man. You have yourself a good night. And now is that what, Stenlund? Is that who they showed with the cup? Yeah, it's Stenlund. Or no, excuse me, Montour. And yeah, you know, he was I didn't notice him a ton tonight, but I had nothing to report but positive things from him tonight. Verhaeghe now lifting the Stanley Cup. Of course, had the first goal tonight and has scored many, many huge goals for this franchise. Mr. Vids, congratulations. Congratulations. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Celebrate responsibly. Let it out, though. Nick Cousins is out there. Leafs draft pick Verhaeghe. He was a Leafs draft pick? I know that he won the cup with the Lightning. And Gustav Forsling, who this season especially emerged as one of the best all-around defensemen in the NHL to a lot of fans out there. Nico Mikkola, his second Stanley Cup. Mikkola he fit into that system like velvet. He was excellent for them. Save the remaining bottle of gin when the Cats win the cup. Isn't that right? It must be tasting pretty damn good then. Oh, now they're cutting away from the cup raising ceremony. All right, my friends. Well, if they're going to cut away, I think we've pretty much achieved everything that we wanted to tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's moments like this that make me want to keep doing this. And especially for fans like yourselves, people who are just discovering our channel, and people who have been here for years, because I know plenty of you out there. So thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm going to give Cortana one more goal treat. Please, if you haven't already, do leave a like on the stream before you go. Watch our Macklin Celebrini video. And also, stay tuned for our reaction to the draft, the whole first round on Friday. Don't care that the Oilers didn't win. Okposo and Bobrovsky are now Stanley Cup champions. Exactly, man. In hindsight, you come to really appreciate these things. So that's the way to do it, man. And of course, as I said earlier, if you haven't already, see the pin chat message. I am looking for people who can help me with this channel taking off. I need more production resources to make more content and reach a greater audience. So if you want to be a part of that as an investor, just about anybody is capable of doing that. You don't have to be strapped with cash. You see the pin chat message there. There's some more information, an opportunity for you to possibly earn back a small percentage of what the channel earns. That's all I'll say right now. So thank you so much for being a part of this, guys. Celebrate responsibly, of course. And we'll have some more great memories to make on this channel in the off season and seasons ahead. Good night, everybody. I'll see you later.